What's up, Mars?
This is what I'm bringing out today. Fieldtown, Mars, everybody that's in the room, Big Bob, Ron. Now, Ron, I'm gonna get you to put some images on the screen. This is why. Now, first of all, there's a code. We all have played basketball, pretty much except for Mars, but Mars will understand this because he's been around us a lot now. There's pretty much a code. What happens in the locker room pretty much stays in the locker room. Now, we understand the situation with Draymond Green. The video got leaked. We know Draymond didn't want it to be leaked. We also know that Jordan Poole definitely did not want that video to be leaked. Jordan Poole has not spoken about this incident, and he doesn't want to speak about this incident for this entire time. Even after it originally happened, and they asked him when he had the first press conference, he kept it professional, moved on. He didn't want to speak about what happened in the locker room. That's mainly how it goes on all levels, that you really don't speak about things that it'd be fights that happen on teams and stuff like that, disagreements, arguments, things about chicks or whatever it may happen. You rarely hear about a lot of stuff that goes on because guys keep it in the locker room. Draymond Green has went on a world tour about this situation with Jordan Poole. When you punch dude in the face, first of all, you don't get points for punching a small dude in the face, right? But you going on a world tour and here's the part that I respect about Jordan Poole. He may have said some stuff that kicked dude off. He may have trash talk, whatever, right? He may have got hit, whatever. Okay, that's in the team. That's in the team. The video got leaked. Okay, cool. Everybody, we ain't talking about it. We moving on. We are a year later, and Draymond Green is still talking about this stuff in interviews. Now, they just asked Jordan Poole last week when he went to D.C. about this same incident. He said, look, I'm here to play basketball. I'm in D.C. Why are we talking about this? Like, we just talk about basketball. But for some reason, Draymond Green continues to want to talk about punching this boy in his face, which goes against all codes, and we know this. And everybody running around here want to give Draymond points for this. I want to ask y'all a question. Ron, I want you to put the first image on the screen that I sent you. Y'all keep talking about this. Why didn't Draymond Green have this same energy? And Ron is getting ready to cue up this first picture. And these questions have to be answered because y'all keep talking about, oh boy deserved to get hit in the face. He was talking trash. Okay, cool, no problem. Well, I have a few questions that I want to ask the panel today. And I want to bring my evidence to the forefront and ask these brothers these questions. Then I'm gonna let them have the floor because I really want to hear what they got to say. Because I think this is beyond crazy. Because now Jordan Poole's father has gotten involved, and his father basically cussed him out and said he want the one-on-one smoke. And everybody's got a problem with the dude's pop stepping up. But if I was his pops, I'd say something too, because my son have tried to avoid the situation and avoid talking about this with you. And you keep trying to bring this and rehash this, even now that he's gone from the team. So Ron, please put the first picture on the screen real quick. And I want to ask everybody that's watching this video, I want to ask y'all a question, bro. As Ron put the picture on the screen, I'm waiting on Ron to get the picture up. I gave Ron 4 pictures. And I want to ask y'all these questions because in these 4 different instances, these was dudes either his size or bigger than him, right? Dudes were his size or bigger than him. Now, Ron, put the picture on the screen, please. I don't know how fast you can get it up, but please put it on the screen now. Yeah. Now, that's when he got into it when Isaiah Thomas or Isaiah Stewart yanked him up in the game. Why didn't he do that to Isaiah Stewart? Because we always had a rule on our team, Chilltown. You can't hit nobody on our team if you ain't willing to hit somebody on the other team, right? If you ain't willing to cold cock somebody on the other team, but you're going to cold cock one of the key cogs that you need on that team, we're not having it. Ron, go to the second picture, Ron. So when he didn't do anything in that picture right there, go to the second one, Ron. Now, as we go to the second one, I want to ask y'all this question, right? Why didn't Draymond Green do nothing in this image that Ron is getting ready to put up right now in the second image? These are the questions that y'all going, because see, I'm going to put y'all on the task, right? Now, look, this is what Bradley Beal did to him. And Bradley Beal didn't have a scratch on him, didn't get punched out, none of this stuff, right? But this is when Bradley Beal yanked him up and headlocked him and got daggone DDP'd him into the crowd. We all remember that incident right there, right? Bradley Beal, they was kicking their ass too that game. And Bradley Beal DDP'd him in the crowd, and Bradley Beal didn't have a scratch on him. Why he didn't keep that same energy with Bradley Beal, his opponent? Ron, go to the next picture, please. Please go to the next picture, Ron, because it's another one up there. And there's 2 more pictures I want to show y'all because it gets uglier than what I just showed y'all. And we're gonna answer these questions today because the stuff he's doing to that boy is harassment, man. The boy don't want to talk about it no more. The boy got punched out. We all seen it. He don't want to talk about it. The fact that this dude keep going from interview to interview, doing special to special, talking about this is egregious and disgusting. Now, Ron, Look at how Bradley Beal got this fool in the headlock and was DDPing this dude into the crowd. Where was all that knock him out, rock him, sock him, I'm going to lay you out, I'm going to punch your grill out, I'm going to knock you out, then Super Saigon kick you? Where was that at when Bradley Beal was goddamn in Golden State, goddamn ran running you into the crowd? Where was that at? Now, Ron, show the last picture I'm going to show you, because this is the worst out of all of them. And Bob, this is the worst. Now, Bob, we know Draymond's supposed to keep the same energy. Now, this is the most egregious of them all, Bob. And this is for anything that Jordan Poole said did not violate Draymond Green more than this right here. And I don't want to hear no excuses when y'all see this one right here. Ladies and gentlemen, now this picture he's getting ready to put up on the screen right now. I need to ask y'all, since Draymond Green was so tough and he knocked that boy out, he knocked Jordan Poole out for words. When Tristan Thompson hit him in the face with the basketball, why he ain't do nothing? Chill Town, I'll let you man, because I'm not with that. I want dude to keep the same energy, dog. Go ahead, y'all.
Y'all remember when after that in the offseason when Tristan put his hands on him? But I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. Y'all already
Ron, keep that picture up to Ron. Put that picture back up while Bob's talking. I want everybody to get a good view.
Y'all already know how I feel about Draymond anyway. But this ain't no bias. This is just what's right is what's right. Like I said when it happened, because my little brother is Jordan Poole's age, and I said it right there. Like if that was my little brother, I'd be waiting outside the practice facility. You know what I'm saying? I remember when we was in middle school, elementary school, high school, we'll fight. I mean, for about anything. You know what I'm saying? Because we was kids and we was dumb. But in what world is it right for a grown man to put his hands on another grown man because of some words? You know what I'm saying? I thought it was sticks and stones. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know. I don't really got too much to say about it though, Ticket, because this shit is just crazy to me. And I'm like W Pops, you know what I'm saying? W Dad, W.
I'm just saying.
They laughing at his dad and shit, talking about, oh, you need to mind your business. But nah, that's crazy, bro. I'm happy as Pops.
What you mean, mind your business? So your business is not your business?
Right. Yeah, hey, look, how much of Draymond Green?
What was your biggest thing if somebody come up here?
Bro,
listen, right?
Listen. How much have Draymond Green mom dipped herself in the people business? We've seen it, so that daddy excuse don't work with me, because we've seen Draymond Green mom pop off at Steph Curry. We've seen her disrespect Steph Curry and say stuff about him not doing his job. So y'all can't come to me with that. Right. Chilltown, why he don't have the same energy? And I don't want to hear about Chilltown. They talking about in the chat room, oh, that's in the game. No. Somebody hit me in the face with the basketball. I don't give a damn where we at on planet Earth. You hit me in the face with the basketball, it's all game then.
So two things. So two things, Ticket. Number one, in practice, right? In practice, whatever we got going on, whatever happens on the basketball court, we're going to end it right here. We done with it. And once it's finished, we finished. Mm-hmm. We ain't talking about it no more. So in 6 months, you're not going to hear me going, yeah, I had to punch Ticket in the face in practice. No. You're not going to hear that. Right. We already handled it. Whatever issue me and Ticket had, whatever me and issue Bob had, whatever was in practice or anything like that, it's over that day. Now, if it's something that can't be handled, then we got to separate and you got to go your way, I got to go my way. That's different. But it's still going to end that day. I'm done talking about it. That's number one. Number two, if you got that same energy for a young guy, right? Because again, we're talking about older, we're talking about a vet, and we're talking about a young guy. I'm the standard on the team in terms of a leader. So if I got that energy for a young guy, I got to be the leader and have that energy for everybody. It can't just be for you. Right? If you get in my face, I got to get in any and everybody's face also. And like Big Ox talked about with Tristan Thompson, he caught him in the streets. Let's be clear about that. It wasn't like, this was still some basketball stuff. He actually caught him in the streets. And it was off the basketball court. A lot of times we get confused with athletes, and people think that athletes are tougher than they actually are. Yo, I'm a basketball player. That's what I am at the end of the day. I'm not a UFC fighter. I'm not a real thug. No, that's why I play basketball. That's why I went to school, because I got away from that stuff. So stop trying to act like you are that, because you're not that. That's not who you are. Now, Jordan Poole decides, yo, I don't want to talk about this no more. I'm off this. This ain't got nothing else to do with me. We already handled it. It's over. Then it's over. So anybody who brings it up to me afterwards, if I'm involved in it, yo, we already did that. That's done. I'm done talking about it. We don't need to talk about it no more. If you want to keep going with it, I think that's suckerish.
Hey, I didn't see clips. I didn't see clips, but during the clip, that I seen when Draymond was talking about it, and it was crazy because I didn't even know he was talking to Pat Bev until I just seen it this morning. So when you look at it, it looked like Pat Bev kind of sitting there, just kind of like, yeah, like all right, you know. So I don't know. I don't know if Pat Bev was egging it on because I didn't see the whole video, but I don't know. It just seemed like the energy was kind of weird. Like
I kind of just
like he really needed to talk about
either.
It's whack to me, Ron, because you praying on a dude that you know ain't built like that. But then when you had a dude in your face,
whip Draymond either way.
Yeah, I'm saying, but
No,
hold on,
it is
then when you had a
different.
dude, that's like me. I talk stuff to Mars. I ain't never gonna hit Mars because I already know that ain't even. Come on, man. Mars is too small and he's younger. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just talking to Mars. When I tell y'all, when that dude did that to that boy, knowing that boy wasn't built like that, but y'all give him a pass when he run up on these other dudes and see if me and Bob was on the same team and me and Ron was on the same team and we can fight. But I see another dude on another team going at Bob the same way and he's scared to throw hands with him. I'm not gonna respect Bob the same way no more because I'm like, no, you willing to fight your teammate and then go tell everybody and talk about this, but you ain't willing to fight the dude we playing against, man. We always had a rule, bro. If you hit anybody in this locker room and you get into it with somebody else and you don't hit them, you off the team, dog. We not rocking with you no more, man. Because at the end of the day, I seen dude hit Draymond in the face with a basketball and him keep his composure. So you gonna tell me some words from Jordan Poole just made him go knock this dude head off when Tristan Thompson hit you in the face with a basketball? Like, come on, man. Stop playing.
You're answering your own question. You're answering your own question. When a guy his size pushed him on the court, now granted it was during a game, maybe you don't want to get suspended, all that stuff, but a guy his size, he doesn't. But when a guy who he's clearly bigger than and feels like he can bully in practice where it's not going to, he didn't think it was going to be on camera now, don't forget. Now, I'm going to punch him in his face. That just kind of shows you the kind of guy that Draymond is. Why he's still talking about it? Well, it's the whole reason why he did it was because of you. Because look at you the next day, what you're doing. Now it's a story. Now he gets publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. He's trying to sell his podcast. He's trying to get people to click on his show. So, of course, he's going to bring up when he punched that guy in the face. Because people will go and watch the show. They want to see, why is he talking about this again? What happened? Is he going to give us more details? You coming on this show, and now we've taken the first 15 minutes of our show talking about Draymond Green and his stupid antics. You know what I mean? We know who he is. We know what he's doing. So
now, don't get me wrong, Tick. Don't get me wrong, Tone. I'm a little conflicted in the aspect that stuff happens in practice. We could get into it. That's why stuff happens in practice, and in practice, whatever happens there, that's the end of it. What I don't appreciate is I don't appreciate the select, as in the words of Chris Rock, I don't appreciate the selective outrage. The energy you got for me, I don't appreciate that, Ticket. I don't appreciate the selective outrage. I don't.
Tone, he's going on. I would have left it alone. He's going on facts.
You'll swing on me, but this dude coming to you with the same energy, and you won't swing on him. That's suckerage.
And he your size. And he hit you in the face with a basketball. And you ain't got that same energy for him. And then you're going on a world tour. This ain't the first time he talked about this. Remember, after the season started, this fool did a special opening night talking about it, bro. Remember, he did that special opening night of the season talking about it? So he didn't get no real punishment, didn't miss no games, did a special, been going on a world tour talking about why he hit the man. Bro, the dude is immature. Like I said, he got selective energy, and all y'all that's praising that dude, saying that Jordan Poole deserved that, I asked one question to y'all. Why he ain't keep that same energy with all those other dudes? Why he ain't keep it with B? Why he ain't punch none of these other dudes out? Why?
And the thing about it too, it's not like Pops was asking for an apology. Draymond said that he apologized to his pops and his mother too, and he was just kind of saying like, nah, he didn't say sorry to us. It's not like he was going around like, oh, Draymond, you need to apologize for putting your hands on my son. But at the same time, like any father with any balls is going to protect their son no matter how old they are. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, the man is, hold on, let's be honest. The man is 10 years older, at least, than Jordan Poole, bro.
Yeah,
bro,
sure.
So let's just think, like, if you're 10 and a dude is 20 years old and punches a 10-year-old. Now, we know that Jordan Poole is grown, but I'm just giving you, he's over 10 years older than that dude, bro. Like, come on, man. At some point, you got to have some maturity and understand, like, this a young fella running his mouth, trying to be funny, you know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, when you don't keep that same, and nobody ever calls that out, that ticks me off, that this dude has been able to go on a world tour and try to humiliate this guy and make this guy look even worse than he already looked. He got to live with it for the rest of his life that he got punched on video like that, bro.
Can I ask y'all a question, though? Because I don't know.
You want to hear the audio?
Yeah, real quick. Real quick,
Ron.
Ron.
Go ahead. You got it.
Ron.
You got
I
it.
want to know, because that's what I said earlier. Because Draymond, like, oh, there's certain things you can't say to grown men. You got to stand on that. Like, trying to, I just feel like that's trying to sound like, I don't know, whatever. But is that real life? Like, are we still living that way? Like how we was doing in middle school? Like if you say something to me, I can just put my hands on you. Is that how we live in life as grown men?
My only well, there's a respect factor that has to be there, Bob. There's a certain way that there's a certain as a grown up. As a grown man, there's a certain way that you expect me to talk to you. There's a certain way that you expect me to address you. And if I'm out of line, you're going to tell me I'm out of line. And if I'm way out of line, there's certain words that could cause me to get punched in the face or for me to get swung on. Then that's just the way we are as men. My issue is the fact that there's a reason why we got key cards in facilities. There's a reason why we have closed door practices. There's a reason why we have team meetings where nobody is at because of privacy issues. I hate the fact that this whole thing got out. And the reason why I hate the fact that this whole thing got out is because this ain't none of our business, man. This was something that was in practice and it should have been handled right there. And it should have ended right there. The fact that this got out really bothers me because now what we're doing is now we letting the whole world in on everything that we do. Everything ain't everybody's business. I didn't appreciate what Draymond did. No question about that. If I was in practice and a dude swung on me or I swung on somebody, we're going to end it right here. Whether I get fined, whether I get kicked off the team, it's going to end here. We're not going 6 months, a year later, where we still doing this. No, we're not. My main issue is the fact that this should have ended right here. And this shouldn't have been as big a deal as it was. These dudes should have handled this. And the fact that it got out, I hate that.
And the worst part is he got his money now. So now you got to deal with
it. Well, that sped it up, Ticket. That actually sped the process up.
Mars, if you're the Warriors now, he's unhinged now because he got his 4 year another $100 million deal. So now the next time you got an issue with it, because now he gonna really be popping off because he got his security going for it. So now Mars, like, it's just like now they're gonna have to just move him if he gets into another situation. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Chilltown. It's gonna be a point this season, and maybe Mars agree with me or not, that him and CP3 bump heads, bro. And I'm gonna tell you, CP3 is not backing down, Mars. CP3 is not backing down when Draymond comes. I dare Draymond to come with that same stuff he came to KD with CP3. He's gonna get a totally different response.
No, he's not. He's not going to.
So the thing is, CP3 can't whoop Draymond either. But you can't just put your hands on CP3.
No. But there's going to be consequences for that. Yeah, he's throwing hands.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying, like, just based on my observation. Now, I don't know Chris Paul. I don't know how he get down, but I'm assuming he can't whoop Draymond either.
I've seen him fight on national TV against Rondo with the Lakers.
But my thing is, even if he can't whoop Draymond, there's still going to be consequences of putting your hands on Chris Paul, though. Chris Paul is not Jordan Poole. You can't just punch Chris Paul and think your career is going to be the same after that. I mean, now Brandon Ingram did it, Ray John did it, but that was different. The way that goes, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be the same.
We also too, Bob. Now we actually have a pattern because just so you know, what you saw with him and Jordan Poole, it ain't the first time he did that, right?
Oh no,
that's not the first time that happened. That's something that's been going for you to swing on a young dude in practice. You have to be comfortable enough in your skin in the facility to know that if I do this, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. For me to put hands on another coworker, because that's what he is at the end of the day. He's another coworker. For me to put my hands on a coworker, I have been down that block before. Whether it's with another young guy, whether it's with a vet, this has happened before. That's why he has no problem with it. The fact that it's now something that we see him more often in terms of being on camera, if he gets into this again, now we're going to have a different conversation about Draymond staying with the Golden State Warriors.
All right, fellas, I'm going to go ahead. I'm gonna run this audio, and then I also do want to show his dad's response. And then we'll get into this show. While I'm doing this, how's everybody feeling today? Fluent, you good?
I'm good, Joe. Yeah, man, I'm good. Yeah. I don't.
What is that picture you got?
Y'all see my new pick? Do you like my new pick?
That's the flat suit. That's the fat suit. Ticket? Yes, sir.
Fat suit, baby.
That's the fat suit. That fat suit that James Harden put on when he was in Houston.
Yeah, he's about to wear it again.
All right, here we go, fellas.
dialogue, of course, happens over time, and you usually ain't just triggered by something like that fast, you know, to that degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody on my team triggering me, you know, in an instant. You know,
Yes,
we
man.
know stuff that
That's
you
not
don't
true.
say much, man. You know what I'm saying? We know things that you have to stand on. I don't just hit people. Dialogue, of course, happens over time, and
All right, so that's what he had to say regarding the situation. Dialogue doesn't just happen over time, or just doesn't just happen in an instant. It occurs over time. So I mean, he kind of he put everything out there essentially and said that this is something that was long running.
Yo, Ron, what we in the county or something? Like, well, like what's up? Like, I'm saying we on the yard, bro. We in the county. You say something to me, I got to get off to protect my manhood or something, bro. Can't be a grown up, bro. Now I understand. I understand if we in the penitentiary. You feel me? Like, okay, you got to get down, but it's not the same thing, bro. Draymond doing too much. He need to eat his Snickers.
I don't think it's the first. I think he's lying. I don't think it's the first time this happened. I think this has happened before. I think he's lying. I ain't buying it. This whole notion of I don't just hit people. All right, I can get with that logic that you don't just hit people, but it's people who've talked slick to you before too, especially in practice. Young dudes have talked slick to you before, and you be a volatile personality that you are on that crew. You've gotten into people before.
Sure. So I ain't buying that.
All right, fellas. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna throw this graphic from Jordan Poole's dad up here. Anthony Poole, you can see him on Twitter. He said, "I'm on this. That is some bullshit. JP was his guy, and he avoids me all last year. He is a soft ass bitch, and I'm standing on this. And he didn't apologize to me and my wife. So he a lame, and me and him can meet outside anytime he wants."
And from what I understand, Jordan Poole's father, he really about that life, yo. From what I understand, I don't know to what extent, but from what I understand, Jordan Poole's father is he for real one of them dudes, like for real one of them dudes.
W pops.
Yeah, he's for real one of them dudes. So
hey, one of y'all at Wayne's Walk right now? Or
yeah,
Shawn Marion number 3.
That's what it sounds like. I think that's Ticket getting a 6-pack or a 12-pack of wings or something like that at the Chinese spots. So yeah,
Mars.
Mm-hmm.
That's your mic.
Good one.
Yep, that is you, Mars. Mm-hmm.
Mars, y'all eat chow mein over there?
I don't know what you guys can hear.
It sound like you was at the counter at the Chinese restaurant ordering some
like
chicken
a turtle
chow.
in his tail. Mars like a turtle in his tail.
Ordering some chicken chow mein. That's what it's some shrimp fried rice. That's what it sounded like you was doing, Mars. Let me get a pint of chicken chow mein and some shrimp fried rice.
Hey, man,
You guys can still hear it? Or?
Nah, you good now.
Order me some mushu, bro.
All right, fellas, we got a couple super chats. We're gonna go ahead and run those down, and then I can't wait to get into basically you guys' most iconic moments in NBA history, your most memorable moments, your favorite moments, good and bad. We're gonna talk about it all. Chat, go ahead, y'all start sending y'all super chats through. We're gonna talk about these crazy moments that have happened in the illustrious history of the NBA. But from the top, T Rev said, well, he got a moment. He said May 7th, 1995. Reggie Miller with 8 points in 9 seconds. Let's talk about this.
I can't believe that they lost that game. The Knicks was oh my goodness. Now, don't get me wrong. There's instances in the game where your mind might get your mind gets thrown off the track because Reggie hits the 1-3. Anthony Mason now throws the ball to Reggie Miller and he cracks another 3. John Starks gets fouled. So instead of John Starks going to the free throw line and icing the game, right? Instead of him going to the free throw line and icing the game, where's Starks at? He's not at the free throw line. He's still stuck on what just happened. Yo, Reggie Miller just hit 2 threes in like 3 seconds, in like 6 seconds. He's still on that. So now he goes to the free throw line, misses both the free throws. Reggie Miller gets the ball, He gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, ices the game, game's over. That was incredible.
That's why they should have punched Reggie Miller after that first three right in the face, and none of that happened. See, where was Draymond when we needed him?
Jordan punched him in the face, and I ain't hear nobody. I ain't hear nobody had no issue with Jay because Jay punched Reggie Miller in the face. He did do that.
Well, speaking of memorable, iconic moments, hey, that was a regular season game or the playoffs?
That was in the playoffs. In the Eastern Conference semifinals. Yep.
Yeah, you could fight back there without getting ejected. You could throw a couple.
Couple new members. We got.
Hold on for Adam Jones because I wanted to ask Mars this. Mars, can you imagine? I'd like to know your logic, Mars. It's 1986. Jerry Seasting in the NBA Finals gets into a fight with Ralph Sampson in the NBA Finals. Dennis Johnson also gets into a fight with Hakeem Olajuwon, who, by the way, was thrown out of Game 5 of the Western Conference Championship for fighting. Bill Walton is also involved in this fight. What's the logic on them guys today in the NBA?
They're all thrown out. They're all thrown out.
They're not playing the rest of the series. That's one thing. They're not playing the rest of the series.
So we starting there, Mars. We're done. So Olajuwon, you're done.
Yeah, they're not playing the rest of the series. So,
oh my God.
Then you have a very different situation where, I mean, Houston's missing their best player, maybe their two best players. And then Boston are missing some rotation players. And then we go down in history as what would have happened if Houston didn't have to miss Hakeem and Ralph Sampson. And then everyone says the Boston's ring doesn't count. But that was back then. Now, I mean, today we saw Draymond get suspended in the finals for calling LeBron a bitch. So, I mean, things have changed.
So both Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson, they done for the series. Now they ain't suspended for a game, Mars. They out for the series.
Yeah, you get in a fight in the finals, you're done for the rest of the series. If that's game 1 or game 5, you're done for the rest of the series.
Oh my God,
Mars, I want to go back to what you said a second ago. So, by Houston in like their fan base, they lightweight wish that Ralph Sampson and Hakeem would have got ejected. That way they can go back.
They could have actually
won that ring.
Yeah, they could have had the.
That's fire.
Well, if they didn't get suspended, we could have won. But now they don't have that because they didn't get suspended.
That's the logic. Okay, all right.
But that's what Golden State fans do about Draymond all the time. If Draymond didn't get suspended, they would have won in 2016. So that's why Houston low-key wish they had that argument.
What do you think? What do you think? You were a Warriors fan then. If Draymond didn't get suspended, would they have won?
I think they probably would have closed it out in Game 5 if Draymond doesn't get suspended. I also think if Bogut just doesn't get hurt, I think Golden State probably could win the series as well. But I think they both won each other's rings. I think 2015, the Cavs probably should have won. And 2016, the Warriors probably should have won. I think either way, it was going to be a split. But I will say it was a very sad time when I watched Steph Curry throw behind the back pass to the fifth row. That was a sad time.
My fault, Ron.
Nah, you good. We dialoguing. Got a couple new members. Adam Jones, appreciate you.
What's up, brother? Welcome to the show.
Screens and make it make sense.
Word. Welcome to the show, fellas.
Make It Make Sense came with a super chat right after becoming a member. He said, yo, what's up, PC family? I'm glad to be a part of the family. Congrats on 100K. Coming straight from Savannah, Georgia.
Nice. Yeah. Welcome, brother.
Is it nice? Is Savannah, Georgia nice?
I love Savannah because it has the bridge to Hilton Head Island, which I love to go to. So it's beautiful.
Yep.
Nice.
There you have it. Shout out Savannah. Grande Jones.
Shout out
became
Savannah,
a member again.
Real.
Not that Savannah, Big Ox. Relax, yo. Chill out, man.
That's where I met Savannah, Georgia. She was working at what's that Great Wing place in Atlanta.
Hit low. I'll let you know.
Yep.
Femi Guerrero. Hope I said it right. Femi Guerrero. Appreciate you for becoming a member. Welcome to the fam. Drink More Water said, if the roles were reversed, Draymond is silent.
That's facts. That he ain't saying nothing. He would have got snuffed out like he did about Tristan. He ain't saying nothing.
Because he hasn't said anything about what happened between him and Tristan Thompson. Like that kind of came and went.
He ain't.
Same thing with Bradley Beal. That kind of came and went. That was over. And we seen it. It wasn't like it wasn't on. It was on tape, just like the Jordan Poole thing was on tape. So,
right, but he keep harping on this. That's my problem, though. You keep harping on this now. Like that.
Right.
That's whack to me, bro. Like leave you alone, bro. You older, man. You more mature now. Like Draymond Green, like 34, 35 years old, bro. Like, come on, man. You ain't doing this stuff you was doing when you was 20, 23, like acting like that, dog. Like that. That's some chump shit, man. Everybody's celebrating this. This that new culture we got going on. We got dudes around here wearing fingernail polish, full blown long hair. It's crazy, bro. Foolishness, man. Purses, all kind of stuff. Skinny jeans, skirts, and run around here bragging about fighting dudes that's 10 years younger than them, man. You don't get no points for that, bro.
Keeping it pushing.
Ain't nothing wrong with y'all long hair, y'all.
Well, with the super
I'm
chat.
talking about wigs. I'm talking about wigs.
Nah, I know what you're talking about, bro.
You got dudes out here putting on wigs, Bob.
who is Pirate on Open Gym? Who is that dude?
Pirate on Open Gym was like 92 Jordan versus the YMCA. Mars, would you like to enlighten us on what happened with
cooking
Pirate
yesterday?
Yeah, Pirate is a guy he's been in the chat for a while. Me and him talk all the time. But he came on Open Gym, and normally we rotate the guests, but Pirate was just killing everyone. So he had a whole 3-hour cameo on Open Gym where he was just.
Oh well, we need to bring him up here then and see if he really about that life. Hey,
the people want Pirate up here, but
hey, Mars, true or false, Mars? True or false, Mars? Did he have Low in shambles, asking random questions?
Low was getting cooked.
It's a backstory to it. He was not
you
just
definitely got to bring him up then. If he was cooking Low,
that he was cooking.
Yeah.
So he cooked everyone, and then Low came up thinking he could be the savior, and then he got cooked.
Right.
Too.
You know how Low try to ask a lot of questions and try to put you in the corner, try to box you in. He was trying to do it to Pirate. I'm talking about Pirate was ducking and dodging, sticking and moving. I was like, get at it. I'm at Legoland yesterday watching this. Like I'm supposed to be watching my son play on a little thing. I'm like, yo,
go get him.
I looked up like, oh shit, where's my kid at?
I like it.
Mars, he exposing the same way I exposed Chilltown show last night.
You just said win dad 10 minutes ago. You weren't watching.
All I know is Low was in shambles. He was getting exposed for his disingenuous debate tactics, and it wasn't going good for him.
Hey, look, Chilltown last night. Y'all should go check out how I exposed Chill on his show last night, man. Chill. We had that conversation yesterday on here about Shaq and Tim Duncan, and I got Chill to admit he would have drafted in their primes. He would have drafted Shaq over Tim Duncan.
I'm mad at that.
But then you gonna say he thinks Tim Duncan's not the career, but a player. He thought Tim was a better player, but he would take Shaq over Tim Duncan.
Okay, first of all, see Ticket. Let me tell you what Ticket does. Ticket is so great at wordplay. Okay, Ticket leaves out the fact that he said Shaq for 1 year at his best, Tim Duncan for 1 year.
In his prime. I said
that's what he said. You didn't say in your prime, Ticket. You didn't say that.
I did say that.
I said if you could draft
Tim
a prime Duncan at his best for 1 year.
A prime Shaq or a prime Tim Duncan. Who you take?
You said Tim Duncan for 1 year.
If you could pick a team, you had a prime Shaq, a prime Tim Duncan. Who you taking?
Duncan.
You taking a prime Tim Duncan over Shaq? Even though
you just asked me you asked me the question. I'm gonna explain it to you one more time, Ticket.
Bro, ain't no way in hell.
Duncan.
There ain't no way in hell, bro. I'm not taking a prime Tim Duncan over a prime Shaq. A prime Shaq humiliates Tim Duncan like he did in real life.
Actually, he didn't. And you ran down all the numbers yesterday. You did. You ran down all the numbers yesterday, and they were really close, Ticket.
But he was better.
Ran them all down.
But Shaq was better.
But the numbers you were running down, you was like 36 and 18 against Duncan, who was 33 and 15. Or 32 and 12. 32 and 12, and Duncan was 29 and 13. Shit like that. Those are the numbers you're running down.
Shaq was winning more games. That's true.
You told me yesterday that they're tied, so you didn't.
No.
True.
In the playoffs, they're tied. But overall,
so they're tied, right?
Shaq has won more games than him overall. In the playoffs, they both won 15.
All right, but more importantly, we need Ron to explain to me and Mars your American education system when Tim Duncan has 5 check marks and Shaq has 4. How did we pick Shaq as the winner?
Y'all pick Shaq as the winner. I'm saying to Chilltown.
No, I'm asking about the graphic player's choice posted everywhere that said we picked Shaq as the winner when Tim Duncan had more check marks.
Right.
First and foremost, I never said Shaq was the winner.
Is it the conversion rate? That's what the post said.
In
the
the
player's
post,
choice, the panel chooses Shaq over Tim Duncan.
First off, I didn't make the post. Second off, I never said Shaq was the winner. We chose Shaq as the better overall player on there. So with that being said, if you deem that as winner, then he's the winner.
Hey, Ron,
he's the
Ron, this is a question I do want to ask Fluent and maybe Mars and Bob too. Do y'all think that Tim, like, let's be honest, could Tim had dealt with Shaq in his prime? Like, you know, could Tim have been able to deal with Shaq? Or was Shaq one of those dudes that nobody could deal with him? Like, he was just
nobody could deal with him.
Right.
Nobody
Look, Shaq at his best.
Nobody could deal with Shaq, but if I had a pick of anyone who I'd want to take that matchup, I'm taking
That's Duncan. That's Duncan.
I'm not saying he'd win the matchup or he'd lock him down, but he's my number one pick to do that.
I mean, except for Hakeem, I think I'm going.
But we are having two different conversations, though, right? Like
we are.
Yes.
When
we are. Shaq is at his best, no one's stopping him. No one. He's the best. But if we're comparing who's the greater player based on the entirety of their career, that's Tim Duncan.
I mean, we talking about.
No. I wasn't going like that. I thought we were just talking about the greatest player. Period. Yesterday, I didn't know y'all was talking about based off their career because, like, I do believe
that's
that
part of it. Ticket.
No. But no. Listen, what I'm saying. No. Listen, what I'm saying. I do believe that you could be better than a person because your career statistics. You could be ranked higher than a person because your career statistics. But that person might be a better basketball player than you. General. So that's all. That's how I thought we was grading. Like if we was grading based off careers, obviously you got to go with Tim's career because of the longevity and stuff like that. But if we're basing it off of just a player, like who I want, just if I'm picking, I want this guy. I'm talking Shaq. I think Shaq is better than Tim Duncan. That's just what I'm saying. And
Ticket,
I
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question, Ticket. Who was the best player in the league longer?
No, I'm with you. I'm not saying that. I agree with you on that. I'm saying that, but that don't always mean that you were the better player. Like for example, Grant Hill didn't have the career a lot of his contemporaries had, but he was a better basketball player than some of these other guys were. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he didn't have the career because of his injuries or whatever it may be. I'm just saying. I thought we was talking about who was the better player when Brian broke it down by category, like who was the better just basketball player. Period.
Hello, Mars.
Sure. How long do you think Tim Duncan?
That graphic, how it says best overall in bigger letters.
Oh yeah, Mars. We tag team partners again. Get him again. Answer that question.
How long do I think? So I think Duncan was the best. I think Duncan was the best player in the game in 03. I think he was the best player in the game in 05. I think it was arguably he was the best player in the game in 06. I think Dirk Nowitzki was the best player in the game in 07. I think Shaq was the best player in the game in 01. I think he was the best player in the game in 2000. I think it was arguably between him and Shaq as the best player in the game in 02. In 04, I think Duncan was the best player in the game in 04. So if I'm going off the top of my head, Mars, I'm thinking Duncan was the best player in the game from 2000 to 2009, maybe 4 years of that decade.
And Shaq was 2.
Maybe 3.
3. So then the other 2 is what? Kobe?
Dirk Nowitzki and James.
So Kobe was never the best player in the world.
Oh yeah, he was. Again, you said 2000
was Shaq, 01 was Shaq, 02 was Shaq or Duncan.
Arguably.
Yeah, one of those. 03 was Duncan, 04 was Duncan, 05 was Duncan, 06 was Duncan,
and Bryant.
Okay, Duncan or Kobe, and then 07 was Dirk.
And Bryant.
Dirk and Kobe. Okay, 08 was who?
Bryant.
Okay, Kobe, and 09 was LeBron.
Bryant.
Oh, so when was LeBron?
I want to say that LeBron was the best player in 08, 09, and 10, but the fact that what Kobe did those 3 years, I couldn't deny the fact that he was the best player in the game.
Can KG get a little love in 03 or 04?
I think KG was the best player in the world in 04.
You can make that argument, yeah. I think you KG, Duncan, and Diesel, but I think Shaq was third at that point.
My thing from that whole time, from like 99 to 2009, maybe 2010, like
right.
KG walked amongst giants. He was a giant himself. Like, I'm not KG. I'm sorry, Tim Duncan.
Yep.
was walking with, he was banging with the Titans. Like, KG ran the era as far as I'm concerned. KG ran the league. That whole time. Now that don't when I say run the league though, give me 1 second to take it out. See how you looking at me, Mars? I'm not saying he was necessarily the best player every year. Obviously, he didn't win a ring every year. Obviously, he didn't make the finals every year. But if you look at from 99 to 2009, bro, you got to reckon with Tim Duncan every single year. And I don't know if you can say that about everybody else.
You can say that about KG too. You can say that about KG.
Yeah,
that you had to deal with him. You had to deal with him.
KG too, but I mean Tim and y'all, mind you. I mean,
you misspoke. Okay, because you said KG ran the league from 99 to 09.
Oh yeah.
That's why you meant Duncan.
Yeah,
he meant Duncan.
I double back and said my bad. I mean Tim.
Okay.
So and y'all know KG is my favorite player. You know, besides Pippen, that's my favorite player. But you had to reckon with Tim Duncan like all those years, bro. Tim Duncan was never a slouch. He ran the NBA as far as I'm concerned, bro. Okay, it was his league, bro.
That makes more sense because I heard KG and I was confused, but okay, Tim Duncan.
I mean, as much as I would love to just propaganda and just say that, I can't lie to the people, but it was Tim Duncan's league, bro. It was Tim Duncan's league.
I disagree.
I think Tim Duncan. I think 03, yeah, he was the best player in the world. Every year other than that, I think 03 is the only year he was definitively the best player on the planet.
That's right, bro.
04, I have a hard time saying he was the best player when KG was doing what he was doing.
Yeah,
05, he was great. I mean, you could say because Kobe missed the playoffs, but then Tim Duncan was kind of hurt in the postseason and wasn't tremendously great, especially in the finals. So 05, I'm like, I understand. I don't think it was definitive, but I'll say 03 and 05. Then 06, I mean, it has to be Kobe. 07, I think it has to be Kobe again. And then 08 onwards, Tim Duncan just wasn't the same level of player. So I think 03 and 05 really. And I guess you could try and maybe argue 99, but I don't know if I'm going that far.
But Mark, all those years from, let's say from 2000 at least to 2003, Shaq was 20 a game. He was
what a game ticket? You went out
28 and 11 a game. And from 2000 to 2003, he was 28 a game, and also he was right around 11 and a half rebounds.
So I got Shaq as the best in 2000, 2001, and 2002, and maybe 99. The reason I don't have him in 03 is because he was dealing with the foot injuries, and then Kobe was really having to step up.
And we don't, but Mars, we don't praise Shaq's defense, but Shaq was averaging 3 blocks, 2.8 blocks, 2 blocks, 2.4, 2.5. So he was up there in blocks too. It wasn't like we downplayed Shaq's defense because we thought he could have been a lot better.
I don't downplay it.
I'm watching. He was averaging more blocks than Tim Duncan a lot of these years.
He was an all-league defender.
I think Shaq was the best in the league for longer than Tim Duncan. I just can't give him.
He averaged more points, rebounds, and assists than Tim Duncan all those years, basically. So, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, well, Tim was playing with Tony and Manu," but I agree with Mars, man. I think even one of them years they was in the finals, man. Manu should have been the finals MVP, bro. And I think he got robbed, bro. I saw the way he shifted that series, bro. And like I said, I think Tim Duncan's great, but I think he get a lot of credit for the help that he had in some of those years, bro. And I just, like I said, the first year you got me, Chilltown, the first championship he won. But from there in 07, can't give it to him. He played like crap in that finals. I wouldn't give it to him. In the other year, Ginobili was the finals MVP to me, man.
In 05, like you're talking about when they beat Detroit.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, bro, come on, man. Like, and they almost lost that series. They were a lucky shot away from Robert Horry. I ain't gonna say luck because Robert's hit it before, but they were. I mean, if Rashid don't make that mistake, he loses that finals. And this is a dude who can never win back to back. Shaq three-peated at least. So that's what I'm saying about
that part I won't fight. But to go back to Mars's point, to go back to Mars's point when you talked about, I will not argue 1999, 2000. That was the best version of Shaq. When I think about who Shaq was from 92 all the way up to his at the end of his prime, which is 2007, I'm going to say. I think the best version of him was 1999, 2000. I think he finished second in the league in Defensive Player of the Year that year, in addition to averaging 30 and almost 14. That was the best that I had seen from him, right?
So then MVP.
He should have been unanimous MVP, no question about that. Then we moved to 2001. Duncan is now coming into, he's healthy, he's coming into his own. They end up smoking, the Lakers end up smoking him in the Western Conference Finals. Duncan was still carrying that unit the way it was, and the way Duncan was. And I think he averaged something like 23 and 16 in that series. So there was a conversation between. I think that there was a conversation between him and Shaq. I think the conversation was even louder in 2002. The fact that he had won the league MVP in back-to-back seasons and solidified them. They were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference in 2002, and that was largely due to Tim Duncan and how good he was, not just offensively averaging 25 a game, but also defensively. I think they were the number 1 defense in the league that year. The Lakers were just better, and I think that has solidified him that year. And then in 2003, that just stamped him being the best player in the game. When you move to 2004, when you talk about KG, I mean, KG was always in the conversation as the best 4-man in the game. Tim Duncan was just winning. That was the difference. And then in 2004, when KG did what he did and winning the league MVP and taking that Minnesota team, now the conversation gets different with him. I still think that Duncan was at the top of the league. And then you move to 2005, where they win the NBA championship against arguably the best defensive team in the game in NBA history. So,
and that one, but hold on, chill. That still came on a 1 possession, like 1 shot. And I want to say this to you, like, to me, how dominant can you be, bro, if you don't even win back to back? How dominant can you be?
I mean, well, wait a minute though, Ticket. I mean, even with Shaq winning it in 2000, 2001, and 2003. I mean, Tim Duncan, his team did win the NBA championship every other year. That happened.
No, I'm saying
so they won 4 and 8 years.
No, I'm saying if you're
saying about 3 and 5 years, Mars.
I'm saying if you're the most dominant player. I'm saying, but if you're the most dominant player for a stretch, your dominance should be there. Like at least with Shaq, he showed his dominance was there for at least a 4 to 5 year stretch because they were in the finals 4 out of 5 years and they won 3 out of the 4 finals. So to me, when you at the top of your game like that and you're always in the finish line and you're always dominating and you won 3 straight, that's something that I will never ever overlook, bro. That man won 3 straight, and Tim Duncan never won a back-to-back. He can never win back-to-back, bro.
And the teams that, like you just said, and the teams that was knocking off San Antonio was the Lakers. Well, I can say the same thing about the Lakers. San Antonio dropped them. And not only did San Antonio drop them, the team that dropped the Lakers in the finals the year before, that same team is the team that San Antonio dropped.
When did they drop the Lakers?
They dropped the Lakers in 2003.
Okay, that's 1 year.
Yeah, they dropped
not 99 as well.
They swept them in 99.
Now let's do that. In 99, that was before Kobe Bryant jumped on the scene for real. That was when it was still Kobe wasn't Kobe yet.
Wait a minute though.
That's also before Duncan had Ginobili.
Yeah, Tim Duncan is in year 2. Ticket. What are we talking about?
Okay, I give you that. Okay, I give you that. But the Lakers beat them more though. Is what I'm saying. In those years, the Lakers beat them more.
I think they beat them 3 times in 4 years. 100%, they did do that. Yes, they did. And with them beating them, Tim Duncan still performed at an elite level. That says a lot about how that San Antonio team was constructed. Not only was it constructed, how much better that Laker team was. And that San Antonio team was still competing at a high level, largely due to Tim Duncan. Not just offensively, because I think during that stretch he was averaging, I think his best season was like 25 a game. But he was like 25 and 13. That was his best team.
I'm gonna sum this up simple for you. I'm gonna ask you one quick question. Now y'all can all answer this question. Do y'all think if Tim would have went and played with T-Mac, how many championships you think he would have won with T-Mac?
Boy.
Well, I can't answer that.
No big badass. Answer the question, big badass. How many championships do you think that T-Mac would? He would have won with T-Mac. Tim Duncan.
I don't think somebody asked me.
I don't think he would have won as many with Tracy McGrady than he did with San Antonio.
Okay, so hold on. So that means, and I'm glad you said that. Now I know Bob will say something different, but I'm glad you said that. That means Tim Duncan couldn't have been as great and as dominant as you say he was, because if you put him with another top 10 or top 5 at that time player in the league in the world at that time, and you telling me he couldn't do the same that he did with Ginobili and Parker, that lets me know that Ginobili and Parker need to get way more credit for them winning those championships than what Tim Duncan did. Because I know one thing. I know one thing. If you put the Lakers Shaq with a prime T-Mac, he gonna get you at least 2.
Excuse me. I don't know if that's true, Ticket, because number one, Tracy McGrady had a health issue. Number one, I don't know if that's true because
if you would have put a prime Shaq, if you would have put a prime Shaq with Orlando too.
No, Ticket, that logic doesn't work. The reason why that logic doesn't work is because now you want to take Shaq and put him with a prime Tracy McGrady. They don't get to grow up together as opposed to him playing with Kobe Bryant and them growing up together and learning each other. I'm not just going to throw Tim Duncan on the floor with a prime Tracy McGrady. We don't know what that's going to look like. He's got to play off of him. He's got to change his game, and that's going to be completely different as opposed to a guy like Kobe Bryant and Shaq where they actually grew up together and learned how to play with each other. I don't think that they would win as much as opposed to that San Antonio team with both Tony Parker and Ginobili, where they actually grew up together and learned each other. Tim Duncan actually changed his game once Tony Parker and Ginobili started to materialize. There's a reason why. I'm
going to cook you right now. That logic doesn't work because Kareem and Magic started winning championships from day one when Magic came in the league. So that logic doesn't work. Also, they didn't need all those years to get that chemistry and get themselves locked in and together. They won from day one when he was a rookie coming in the door. Also, again, when you're great like that, you're supposed to be able to be put together and have expectations. Look at what happened when LeBron James went over to the Miami Heat. They instantly had championship expectations from day one. Look at when Kyrie and KD went over to the Brooklyn Nets. They had championship expectations from day one. So don't give me, oh, well, Tim Duncan and them needed this, needed that. No, because you put them two dudes at that time, and they're two of the top 5 players in the world. You got champ. I don't give a damn who's a coach. I don't give a damn where we playing at. They got championship expectations, sir, from day one. So that logic don't work with me.
Actually, it does.
But Doc Rivers was the coach.
That's an L poll, Ron.
Doc
Rivers was the coach.
7 to be an option, Ron. I need 7 to be an option on that poll. That's an L poll.
7 for who?
Tim Duncan and Max Sauce.
Actually, the logic does work, Ticket, because you're talking about Magic already coming to a crew that was Magic away from winning. Don't forget, Jamal Wilkes had already been on that crew. Don't forget that unit was already. Okay,
Mars said they wouldn't make the playoffs, right?
Okay, well, no, that's not true.
In 77.
Hold on.
I think they were in the conference finals.
And the year before Magic came in, what happened?
It was in the conference finals in 77, actually. Mars, they missed it in 76.
The year before Magic came on, what did they do?
When Jabbar got there, right? Yeah, when Jabbar got there in the 75 seconds. So Ticket, just so you know, the year before Magic got there, Jabbar had been there already for 4 years before he had been there. Every team that they lost to in the playoffs, now I don't know if you know this, Ticket, but every team that they lost to in the playoffs, when they went deep into the playoffs, won the NBA championship. That includes Seattle. That includes the Portland Trailblazers. When they get Magic, they're Magic away from winning the NBA championship. Your logic doesn't work because you're just thinking your logic doesn't work because what you're trying to do is just put Tim Duncan with Tracy McGrady, and this thing is just going to work. Well, we've seen teams.
Hold on.
We've seen teams.
The year before Magic came over there, they won 47 games and got beat.
They was in the playoffs, and they lost to Seattle. They lost to Seattle, who won the NBA championship. By the way, they were a playoff team. They were a good team. Magic was the difference. He was that thing that they were missing, even though that unit already was together. So Jamal Wilkes was there. Not only was Jamal Wilkes there, Spencer Haywood, all of these guys were already there before Magic showed up. So with that being said, to put Tim Duncan on a crew with Tracy McGrady and just expect it to work, as opposed to him being with Ginobili and Tony Parker for all of those years, which, by the way, he changed his game, which is why they were so good. Tony Parker becoming one of the best, not one of the best scorers, one of the best guards in the game. I mean, he led the league in points in the paint, I believe, like 3 or 4 years. Ginobili being able to stretch the defense like that. So Tim Duncan changes his game. That's why his numbers dropped, where he averaging 18, 19 a game, because he didn't need to be as much of a scorer as he did years before that, because Tony Parker wasn't that guy. Now, all of a sudden, Tony Parker, now Ginobili, and these guys, Michael Finley, these guys are now materializing, so Tim Duncan is changing his game. You're asking Tim Duncan to get on a crew with Tracy McGrady and instantly win it. That's not happening. And then you brought up the idea of LeBron James going to Miami. What is the biggest criticism you in particular have with LeBron James? 2011, you talk about that more than anything.
Right, hold on. So let me say this to you then. That logic doesn't work because LeBron James won a championship the year AD came over there. Now put that in your pipes and smoke it. You're done, son. 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 He won the first year him and AD came over. No adjustment time, no adjustment period. And guess what? This is more ether to your sorry ass. Guess what? They had a brand new coach. They had a new coach. So they had a new coach who hadn't won a championship. They just came in front of Vogel. As soon as the day they got AD, they had world championship expectations and they won the chip, sir. So take your L like a man and walk off and walk away.
That's fair. That's fair.
Got you.
LeBron's the GOAT.
Make sure y'all put that on the short too. I cooked this dude thoroughly on that, and he admitted it. Y'all make sure y'all put that on the short too. We're not gonna hold that out. Like I said, y'all see this body around here? It's called Grill Town, and now it's called Shrill Town because I put his ass out. Like I said, he talking about Tim Duncan and T-Mac. Now think about this though, Bob. 2 top 5 players in the world. You put them together on the same team. They ain't got championship expectations. Come on, man.
I didn't say that they didn't take it. I didn't say that they didn't. No, I did not say that they didn't. What I said was I don't think that they would win as much with. I don't think they would win as much with him as he did with Tony Parker and Ginobili.
Go the year they put together Chilltown. The year they come together, Tim Duncan and T-Mac. That is championship expectations from day one. I'm talking about for however long they playing together.
Right. That part I won't disagree with that part. That part I won't disagree with.
To go with what Mars was saying, I will say this though. It does depend. Are we talking about T-Mac on the Spurs? Are we talking about Timmy on Orlando? If we talking about T-Mac on the Spurs,
joins Orlando,
okay,
that's 99, 2000 Tim Duncan.
Yeah, we talking about when he was leading the league in scoring.
I'm talking about T-Mac on the Spurs, just to be clear. I'm talking about
we talking about on Orlando. No, we talking about when he was leading the league in Orlando. Because remember, Bob, Tim Duncan almost went over there.
I know.
Listen.
I know that. I'm talking about the same time though. I need T-Mac on the Spurs for me to go with how I want.
No. I'm saying no. Because let me ask you, Bob. So reverse the question. So answer the question Chilltown answered. Reverse the question and answer with what Chilltown answered, Bob. Since you didn't get it right, what we saying is if Tim went over to Orlando with T-Mac, do you expect them to be a championship team?
Yes,
from day one.
They have to be a championship contender just based on talent. Based on having Tim Duncan and Tracy McGrady, they have to be championship contenders. Do they win as many rings as I was gonna say? No.
So. Hold on, but how many years do you think? How many years is it respectable to give them before they need to win a chip if they're together?
I'm giving 3 max. They got to win a ring. They got to win a ring
in 3 years. That's fair.
Well, then Chilltown's logic kind of works. If that's what you're saying, then Chilltown's logic of them need to be together. That does kind of work.
That's why I'm talking about because Ticket, you just talked about LeBron and Anthony Davis, which does work. Those 2 guys got together and they won it instantly. But I think we're talking about 2 different things. The reason why we're talking about 2 different things, James was way further in his career than what Tim Duncan was. Also, Anthony Davis, being the younger guy, he was way further in his career than both Tim Duncan and Tracy McGrady. We're talking about 2 young guys. Tim Duncan in the 99-2000 season, that's year 3. Tracy McGrady, I think he was barely 21 years old. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that we're looking at a championship team if it's built the right way, as opposed to that San Antonio team with Tim Duncan, with Tony Parker, with Ginobili, that they were together for a long time. It was instant. The reason why it wasn't instant, the reason why it worked because those dudes were together for a long time, and both Tony Parker and Ginobili were able to materialize, as opposed to Tim Duncan and Tracy McGrady both being in their prime, and we just expected to instantly work.
Hold on, Cool G, you said they had 4 months off. The whole league had 4 months off. The whole league played in the bubble, so that logic don't work. Everybody played by the same rules, so that logic doesn't work. Y'all only use that against them when y'all want to, bro. That logic don't work. I don't never take away from them because they played in the bubble because everybody signed up for it. Everybody played in the same rules. Everybody played with no crowd.
Not everybody had to go down there. Not everybody. You ain't have to go down there if you ain't want to. You didn't.
They all signed up to go down there, and they all played by those rules. So you got to accept it. I don't want to hear, that was a bubble ring. No, that doesn't work because if that's the case, then you got to take away Tim Duncan's ring, the year where they had a shortened season, the lockout season, and they played against the Knicks. All the other championships that were played on shortened seasons. That was one you got to take those out, man. Come on, bro. You can't keep doing that, man. Y'all want to do that.
Tim Duncan was so good, bro. Tim Duncan was so nice that you could put us 5 in our prime with Tim Duncan, and we're gonna get to the playoffs.
Well, I'm gonna be.
Tim Duncan would have got me. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you, dudes. Tim Duncan would have got me paid. He would have got me paid. He would have definitely got me paid. I would have got a contract extension running with Tim Duncan. Yes, I would have.
He that dude, bro. He that dude. But hey, listen,
Shaq too, though. Not just Duncan. Shaq would have got me a contract extension too if I played with him.
Now, if I could play next to Tim Duncan, I'm gonna get busy. If I could play next to Shaq, oh yeah, I'm getting to that Hall of Fame, baby.
Fact. But hey, but listen, that's the thing though. If you would have took the Lakers Shaq at his peak and put him with the Orlando T-Mac, they won a championship. I'm expecting them to win the first year. I don't give a damn who you put around those two. If I got T-Mac who was playing top 5 level in the world at the time, and I got Shaq who was playing at number 1, number 2 level in the world, bro, I expect them to win a championship because in my opinion, T-Mac was better than Penny too. I don't know how y'all gonna feel about that, but T-Mac in Orlando was better than Penny in Orlando, in my opinion. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
I just would prefer not to comment.
I'm not too mad at it.
I don't hate
but
that.
Doc Rivers will probably have
hate
Shaq
that.
shooting threes, so I mean.
Oh, why you keep disrespecting Doc Rivers, man? Come on, you, bro. Listen.
Don't get sucked into that. Don't get sucked into that.
But don't you see how bad it is, though? Hold on. Don't you see how bad it is, bro? James Harden got Doc Rivers fired and still don't want to play for the team, bro. So it wasn't Doc's fault. He still don't want to play for the team after Doc been fired. You would think that if Doc was such a problem, as soon as he got fired, because James wanted him out, that he'd be celebrating, ready to go, ready to play. This fool got hoodwinked, bamboozled, and his boy Daryl Morey, he realized who cut them checks, and it ain't James Harden. It's them people up in that Philadelphia front office. He made promises he couldn't keep to that boy. So now that boy's career is
what this is about. That's what this is about. It's about the bread more than anything. That's what this is about.
He played himself, Chilltown. When he opted into that deal, what he should have did was, and this is how I know James Harden don't got smart people around him. He should have negotiated a sign and trade. Before I even think about opting in, I'm negotiating a sign and trade. If not, I'm walking as a free agent. Guess why? Because James Harden still could have got a reasonable contract with somebody around the league versus what he did, you know what I'm saying, about opting in. Now you done because Daryl Morey gonna let you play that out, dog. He gonna let you play that out.
It's that
keep it pushing.
dollar, man.
Yes, sir.
Got a couple more super chats. Exo Screens just became a member. Now they chiming in with a super chat. Exo said, thoughts on Shawn Marion saying, well, he changed the game, as in small ball and positionless basketball. How do we feel about this?
He did.
He was a part of it. He was a part of it for sure.
He did. I mean,
if Phoenix won, he would have got more credit for it, but they didn't. So
Mike D'Antoni's style though helped him too, like the way D'Antoni played, because D'Antoni was playing small ball. You know what I'm saying? So he was putting him. D'Antoni was the first guy really like putting those wings at the 4 and at the 5 and stuff like that. So
stretching the defense.
It was more than just him. It was kind of D'Antoni's style that did that. You know what I'm saying, Bob? Like his style.
It was D'Antoni's style.
It go both ways. It go both ways. If D'Antoni didn't have Shawn Marion,
I'm saying from what he said though. Listen what he said, Ron. He said he changed the game. Well, you couldn't have changed the game if D'Antoni would have kept you at the 3. No, you said because D'Antoni played small ball and put you at the 4, and you were so effective playing the 4 and playing the 5 sometimes. But and you was playing the 4 and Amari playing the 5.
That was in the super chat. So we reading it based on what he said in the super chat. I'm sure when Shawn Marion said it, it was more so like, you know, I was a part of that. We did that together, you know, our team. Because I agree with you, Ticket. I don't think it was just Shawn Marion, and I don't think it was just Mike D'Antoni. You know, it was the fact that he had that compilation of talent and was able to do that.
But Bob, that ruined the NBA though, in my opinion. And the reason why I say that is because that eliminated guys like you, guys like the real big men that really wanted to bang, really wanted to score. Mike D'Antoni eradicated that when he started winning 60 games like that. When he started winning all those games, a lot of teams wanted to, they wanted to imitate that. And that, to me, that killed the big man. We stopped seeing more of the big men who play with their back to the basket. I wish it would come back. Wish it would come back, Bob. But I like, and you said something, me and you got an argument about it the other day when you was talking about, they should play like that. But me and Chilltown told you, like, they not playing like that no more, bro. Like, they're not finna come down and throw it to you 15 times in a post and tell you go get buckets no more. They're gonna say you're holding the offense up by doing it.
Right. Because they want to play quick, they want to play that style of play. I definitely got to agree with you. I don't know if those was his intentions, and I don't know if that was necessarily what did it, but that definitely kick-started it. And so you're 100% right about that. I don't think basketball.
Mars is right though. Mars is 100% right that if they would have won, he would have got way, like we'd be talking about him like. If you can imagine how we talking about Andre Iguodala, we'd be talking about him like that, except a little bit more.
Yeah, but what that did was that him doing that hurt the game though, bro. Because now all the players that's coming in college, you don't have no more big men no more. Like nobody wanted to play like For example, the guy Jahlil Okafor that came in the league, he was a post-up big man that got buckets in the post. Nobody wanted to play like that. They don't want no players like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? They want you to pick, pop, shoot threes, do all this stuff. Nobody, and I don't understand that, bro. Like for me, that ruined the game.
When Shawn Marion, when Mike D'Antoni moved Shawn Marion to the 4, so now you got bigger 4s like Chris Webber. You got bigger 4s like just bigger 4s that now have to extend further. And that was the future of basketball. We talk about this all the time. We see the future of basketball. We just don't see it at that particular time. And that 8 seconds or less offense, that's what the future of basketball is. That's what the future of basketball is at that point. And it's into Steph Curry and into Klay Thompson. And what they're doing, we're going to enhance that. We're going to enhance it with a little bit more ball movement, and we're going to stretch the defense even further, where these dudes now have to guard not just at the long ball line, even further out from the long ball line. We're going to shoot it just as quick. We're going to move the basketball just as quick. Now you're going to have to get your 4-man to come away from the basket. You're going to also have to get your 5-man to come away from the basket too. So it was revolutionary. Don't get me wrong. 2 things can be right. It did hurt the big man though. That part I will not argue that.
Not going to see no more Tim Duncans again, bro. It's sad.
They'll come back. They'll come back.
I don't think I'm gonna be allowed to see it, Mars. It's
gonna have to be somebody. It's gonna have to be somebody that when it, because even Pop, he don't play. They don't play like that no more. Like Wemby, he's not fit to play like Tim Duncan and them dudes in the post. He's finna play a whole different style, bro. I'm trying to hey Mars. I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna take a team to win dominant to be.
I think he's right about that. I do. I think he's 100% right about that.
You don't think Jokic is doing it?
No, because he plays more. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, the difference with Jokic is Jokic being on the perimeter. Joker plays a lot on the perimeter. He plays on the box, but he'll play on the box in transition. He'll play on the box and getting switches. It's not like it is where we throwing the ball down to Olajuwon, we throwing the ball to Shaq, and we're playing where he's going to get buckets. No, we're actually playing off of him. Back then, we're throwing the ball in Olajuwon, get out the way. Let this dude go work. We're throwing the ball into Ewing. We're throwing the ball into Shaq. Get out the way and let this dude go to work. We're throwing the ball into Joker, and we're actually playing off of him because of the passer that he is. And he's playing even further away from the basket. So the days of Olajuwon, and I miss these dudes like no tomorrow. But the days of Olajuwon, the days of Shaq, David Robinson, I don't think I'm gonna be allowed to see them dudes come back. I would love to see him come back, but I think that's way down the line, like 40, 50 more years.
But they're not coaching like that in college no more either. That zone defense, they're not coaching a post game like that no more, bro. And that's not.
It's gonna be overseas bigs. US bigs are being taught to just shoot threes. But I think the reason it's gonna change is I speak about this quite often actually. As the league gets smaller and everyone's able to switch, the counter to that is going to be being able to go big. And then when that happens, when the league gets to where everyone is 6'7" to 6'9", switching everything, and you have that one big who's 7'1", Joel Embiid type, who's able to play in the post, and then when you double him, he can make the right passes, which is why I brought up Jokic. The league's going to have to change to be able to counter those type of bigs, which is going to make bigs have to come back to the league, and then you're going to need those type of players. The same way when Shaq was dominating, teams just had bigs on the bench who would just foul Shaq. You're going to need more bigs to be able to counter the fact that when you go small, they have that type of player who abuses small ball. And then when that happens, and then you end up having a bunch of teams with bigs, it's going to go back to where you're going to have the small guards who are going to bring the bigs up in pick and roll and abuse them. And then guess what? Those bigs are going to become unplayable. And then you're going to have to go back to switching. And then that's the time. It's just going to go in one big circle all the way to the
I agree with Mars.
I'm saying, hold on, Ron, 1 second. I'm saying in college, though, Ron, they're not teaching them in college to play the inside post game no more. Like they
college isn't going to. I'm going to be honest, by the time I'm Cho's age, the NCAA is not going to be the main.
It might be gone.
It's not. It's going to be players going to play overseas, and it's going to be the G League. NCAA is not going to be where these prospects are.
No. I do think so because they allow them to make money. So I do think that when there's that much money involved, some people do still want to get a free education. So I do think it'll always be around because they've allowed the money. Now, if they didn't allow the money, I would agree with you that they'll be going to overseas route to go get that cake. But the fact that now they're allowing these dudes to get these endorsements to get this bag while they're in college, I think that entice dudes to stay and want to go to college. And I just think that they're not teaching that no more. Like Ron, you can't walk into no gym now where a coach is pushing the big to stay under the basket. Like when we was growing up with me, Bob,
you walk in my gym. You walk in my gym.
Come in my gym.
No, Bob. Now I believe y'all doing.
You play for my age. You the biggest person on the floor. You better get your big ass on that block. Hey,
Not
do not
necessarily.
run straight to the three-point
No.
line.
Let me
Get
real
to
quick.
the
Let me.
block, post up,
I'll,
steal off your man, and call for the ball.
I will say this though. I will say this. It's not just based on size though. It's more about skill set and whatnot. If you know, so if you are big and you can stretch it out, I'll allow you to stretch it out. But for the most part though, get on the block. Get on the block. But real quick though, Mars, to what you were saying though, Mars, I don't. To me, it's about coaching though. Like coach got to coach. I can't. It can't just be all based on personnel. Like, oh, we need bigs because my bad, John. I'm right next to this airport. It can't just be based
plane
on
flying over your head, Big Ox. We don't want that. Don't get hit by a plane, yo. Chill out.
It can't be all based on personnel though. You know what I'm saying? Well, this team got a bunch of guards, so I need a bunch of bigs so we can go. I think we need to stop firing coaches after 3 seasons and allow these coaches to coach. You know what I'm saying? Like I need you to have other utilize your bench. Like when they go small, I got a lineup for that. I got rotations for this. I can have my bigs on the floor against your small ball lineup. It's just coaches got to coach. I think that's more so the issue than anything. These guys are making $50 million a year, so now we're not allowed to coach them. I think that's the problem.
With all the player movements, because we're not in a world where a team loses in the playoffs and they're running it back. They're making changes. The roster's getting switched up. So do you think that coaches really? I agree, coaches don't have as much power as they did. But do you really think it's possible where like you're not gonna have 3 years where you just have the same unit every single year that change? Like it's not just role players getting switched. Like stars are getting moved if you lose 2 times in the playoffs. Like so, how much consistency really is there?
That goes to what Chilltown always says about us demanding our play. Like if I draft you, I need you to get better. If I trade for you when you're a young boy, I need you to get better. We need to work on. We need to be in the gym working on our game. So like you're right, Mars. It is to the point where people are just getting moved around. If I'm not happy here, I don't like this city. I want to go. But like I said, like Chilltown says, bro, make that player get better. I don't need to move you just because okay, you for instance Jaylen Brown. Y'all know I love Jaylen Brown. Okay, but I have to admit his left hand is suspect when he's dribbling the ball. He's dribbling the ball out. But I don't need to be like, oh, let's get him out of here. Nah, man, at Shoot 360, they got the ball handling thing right there. Get in there. I need you 4 or 5 days a week getting your handle tight. Now I don't need you to be Kyrie Irving, but I need you to get your handle tighter. I'm not putting Jaylen Brown on a trading block because he had 8 turnovers in Game 7. Hell nah, get better. You know what I'm saying? So you right, Mars. They are moving these players around, but it's just corny at this point. Like it's like a popularity contest. I feel like I'm in high school all over again. Shit is weird, bro. Like can we stay off of social media and just accept that you fucked up this year and get better? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like people are embarrassed. It's like an embarrassment. Like these owners and GMs are having like a popularity contest or something. It's weird energy.
And if you don't know what Shoot 360 is, go check out our PC Unleashed video. Shoot 360 is an amazing basketball training facility. They got the shooting guns. They got different courts. They got ball handling stations, weights, all the good stuff. It's really like a hooper's dream. It's Hooper's paradise. I'll put it that way. But go check out our PC Unleashed video. Me, JD, and J-Rob, we went in there. We did a tour of the facility with Rodney Stuckey and all of that good stuff. It was a good video, good content. Y'all go check it out. But Ticket, I do want to kind of combat something that you said, and not necessarily combat, but just kind of feed off of it in terms of when you said like the big men's not gonna it's obsolete. They're not gonna come back. They will come back, and I agree with Mars on this. But it's not gonna be exactly the same. It's gonna be Joel Embiid like, where like they're gonna shoot a couple threes, but it's gonna be a dude that's so dominant in around the basket, that's to the point where it's like, yo, you have to stay around the basket.
But is we gonna?
He's gonna be smart enough to understand his way.
But chill, are we gonna ever see a guy like Shaq again?
No,
we gonna ever? No. But we should. Oh,
it doesn't have to be Shaq though. Ticket. In this era, he could be similar version of Shaq. He could be a less version of Shaq.
I don't think you'll see Shaqs, but I think you can see Hakeem's and Ewing.
I'm saying there's big dudes out here that's big. Like think about all the basketball players in the world. It's huge dudes out here that's dominant like Shaq. That's big, strong, can dunk on everybody. stuff like what Dwight was doing. They big like that, right? My whole thing is that they're not pushing that style, and I want to see if there's ever going to be a guy like that come down the pike again if he changes, because that will be the guy who changes the game. Like, if
what about the big guy that plays? What about the big guy that plays at Purdue? They told him to go back to school. He plays like that. He plays around the basket. And they told him to go back to school.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're like just dominant as Shaq was, just dunking dudes, kicking them under the basket, like unstoppable around the post. And I think if you come in and impose that on the league, like, then I think it's different, because remember, like, I'm just saying, bro, like I do feel like that'll be the only thing. Like, a guy has to come back and dominate at that position and make it so that everybody says, you know what, I'm going big again. We need to go big again, because that was the purity of the game. That made the game more interesting to watch when you played inside out with everybody. Now it's just spread it out, who can get the most threes up, and then they win the game. I don't like that. I don't like how the game has turned out now.
Yeah. Ticket. I'm glad you said Dwight, though. We're gonna be hard pressed to find another Shaq, but I do think we can get a dude that's close to Dwight, where it's like you're 6'11", 7 foot, you're an athletic freak, you're a force, you're a monster on the glass, you block shots, and on top of that, you're a crazy alley-oop threat. But furthermore, though,
young boy in Detroit,
you got a little bit of work on the block too. If we dump the ball down to you, you can go get a bucket. I think we're going to see a guy like that. And, also maybe he'll probably have like a mid-range jumper, or he'll probably shoot a couple threes. But for the most part, he gets most of his money around the hoop, and he can dominate on both ends of the floor. I think we could see that.
The big man, Ron, and we can end it here, but the big man, I believe he's alive and well. I've mentioned this in the past. I equate it to updated software. So the big man is not Shaq. He's not Lajuan. He's playing like big man plays. He still rebounds. He still blocks shots. He still rim protects. He just moved a little bit further away from the basket. That's all he did. He still does a lot of the stuff that five men do. He doesn't do it at the dominant level that David Robinson or Olajuwon or Mark Eaton. He doesn't do it at that kind of level, but he still does it. But offensively, his game is just a little bit more advanced.
All right, fellas, I got a couple more super chats. And then we got to get into some of our all-time moments. So I'm actually going to go to super chats that do talk about the all-time moments. We'll talk about these, but I want to hear from each of you guys. What's some of your most memorable moments in NBA history? Let's go into the archives.
Yep.
Derek Washington said, in 2009 Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron hit that buzzer beater in Game 2 against the Magic. I could have sworn Bron and the Cavs had all the momentum and see Kobe.
Derek, just so you know, Derek, just so you know, if he doesn't hit that shot, Orlando is sweeping them. We ain't coming back up here. This series is over.
Momentum. That wasn't momentum. No, that was a shot that saved them from getting embarrassment. Bro, you talking about over. We talking about moment. One of the biggest moments in NBA history that'll live forever is when Kobe crossed up Scottie Simpson ass and threw the oop to Shaq. And Shaq dunks it and points to the sky, baby. That's one of the most iconic moments in NBA history right there. When Kobe crossed over Scottie Simpson the way he did, shook his ass out of his shoes, Chilltown. He shook his ass back to Larson. He shook that fool back to Larson, Kobe with the crossover. And then the oop to Shaq. Shaq catches the oop, yams it, points the two fingers at the sky like this. We going home. We going to the house, baby. Believe that.
What?
When he shook Scottie Simpson ass back to Larson. He shook him so bad that man went back to Larson. That's how bad the crossover was.
Ron, just so you know, that Portland Trailblazer team, not that team in particular, but the organization, they wouldn't win another playoff series until Damian Lillard hit that shot 14 years later.
But now that shot, that series, when we was talking about Bron in Orlando, that was like Nike. The people at Nike was so disappointed because they were pushing for.
Dwight Howard threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing.
Oh man, they was pushing that. They was pushing. Y'all remember them commercials and shit? Oh, Nike wanted
the puppets. Yes, he threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing, yo. And my man talking about they had all the momentum. I'm telling you right now, Derek, if LeBron James doesn't hit that shot, we not coming back to Cleveland. This series is over.
Or when Mike went and got the steal from Carl, plucks Carl, gets the steal, goes down. Walks down the clock, Byron Russell one-on-one. Everybody thinks it's a push-off. And then like 20 years later, they showed a replay, and it wasn't a push-off. It was crazy. It looked like a push-off from Mike where he just pushed him off. But when they actually showed the replay, it wasn't a push-off, and Mike just poses on him, walks away from the game like that. That moment was iconic. Or, we can do yours, Chill, where we go game 1 against the Golden State Warriors, where LeBron has 50. and then he
51,
J.R. Smith,
51 by the way.
J.R. Smith takes the ball and runs out. If we can go to
Ticket,
this
what he
iconic
doing?
moment.
Ticket, what is he doing?
Hold on. But this is an iconic
What is he
moment for me,
doing,
though.
Ticket?
Hold on. This is an iconic moment for me when your king, Ron, his king, went over to the bench, was wiping his forehead with the towels, crying, and looked at Ty Lue. This is the smartest dude in the history of the game, right? They gonna say, "Do we have a timeout?" And when Ty Lue was like, "Yeah," he was like, "Oh, I think we did." That fool had a mental breakdown over it. That was one of the most iconic moments in NBA history, y'all.
So let's rewind when Jordan stole the ball from Malone. I don't know if any of y'all ever been in trouble in school, and when you got to go home and you know what's waiting for you, you know what's waiting for you on that walk home. When Jordan was dribbling the ball up the sideline, I knew what was about to happen. I just felt so bad for the Jazz. I was like, damn, because I knew he was going to score. I didn't know how he was going to do it, Big Ox, but I knew for a fact he was going to score. There was no way he ripped him and it was not going to happen. I knew he was going to score. So I had this sinking feeling like this is over. Because I thought the Jazz were going to win that series. I did.
Go back to your boy, Chill. He could have made NBA history had he would have just kept it together and went for the gusto and the OT. Him breaking down like that changed everything. Because I'm going to tell you something. If they win that game one, they break the Warriors mentally, bro. I'm telling you something. The way he played, bro, throughout that game, all the way up until that time. And I know he was frustrated that JR did that. But in that moment, he should have said, forget it. We got 5 more. Let's go get it. He was so ticked off. And listen, you're right. I don't know what the hell JR was on. Because, I mean, you're right there under the basket, bro. It's like, you really.
What you doing, Ticket? What you doing?
They destroyed JR for that, bro. JR did not let that down, bro. They destroyed him for that, bro. I would never forget the next day in the media. I'm talking about JR had it. He didn't even want to come outside. He said it was so bad. All the threats he got, all the messages he got. Like,
okay, you at the free throw line. All right, you at the free throw line, or I'm at the free throw line on the first free throw, and I make it. What's the first thing you doing, Ticket?
Oh, you already know what we doing. Hey, listen. So you make it. I'm in position for the next one because the next one you got because you have to if you don't make the next one. So they got lucky because he was in the right position.
No, Ticket. What I'm saying is that I'm at the free throw line and I make the first one. The first thing you doing is you looking at the clock. All right, where we at?
Yeah. Oh, no. Hold on, but he should have known that before then. But like the moment, because that's why you're on the line. You already know the time and score that you're on the line. So now you get the ball, bro. Bro, you gotta go. You right there. You gotta go back.
Get J.R. Smith off the floor.
This man took the ball, ran the half court.
Yo, he was high.
He had to have been high. He had to have been high. Something was going on.
Simple.
He literally ripped. I thought he was gonna pick the ball up and run the half court.
Yo, where was that game? That game was in Golden State or that was in Cleveland?
That was in Golden State.
Bro, that's in Golden State, bro.
Come on, that's you know.
Bro,
Like, Chill-Town. Remember I told you, Chill-Town, when Anthony Davis came to California, he kind of got that fucking in the system because we got a different level of THC out here. J.R. Smith hit that joint, hit it before the game like he usually would in other places, and he couldn't handle it. He was out there confused all game.
Bro, and then he turned around and shot it up. Did y'all remember his explanation for that though?
I don't remember what he said, Ticket. I was so wrapped up in the fact that he just let the ball. I was still stuck on that the whole time. I'm looking at the TV going, what are you doing? I ain't even hear what he said. I didn't hear what he said. All I'm thinking to myself is, where are you right now? Because you ain't with us. You clearly somewhere else.
He was on cloud nine.
He thought they were up.
That's crazy. Man.
That's crazy.
He was on cloud 9. That's where he was.
All right, fellas, we gonna keep it pushing.
Do you remember Bron's face though, Ron, when the nigga was running to him and Bron had his hands out like, bro, what is you doing?
Yo, Ticket. You know, Bron. You know the type of politician Bron is. Bron not gonna do nothing bad in the spotlight. Had that been behind closed doors,
he might have swung on JR.
No. Bron beating JR ass.
Yeah.
No, if y'all think Bron ain't at least him JR up in the back, y'all crazy if y'all don't think Bron put his hands on JR. Oh, he had JR in a mean headlock. You know how you give him the nookie? He had him in his knee head like he was giving him nookie. Like, bro, I told you to stop smoking weed before the game.
Who was trying to break him up though, or was nobody?
Nobody.
Were they like, nah,
nobody.
They was
Yeah,
looking
that's
the other
going
way.
down. That's going down in NBA history, though, bro. It's one of the worst.
Ty Lue might have been like, "Hey, bro, stall him out," but he really was like, "Fuck him up, bro."
He fought hard to get that rebound too. Bro, you just go back up. Once you get that board, you don't get the board like that. And then he was right at the basket. Like, bro, just go up.
You could have just
score.
went right back up. Right
Hey,
there.
so they was all looking like this.
You know,
like how Jordan Poole was looking in this picture.
Yo, true.
Exactly. You see how Isaiah trying to hit up Draymond and ain't nobody coming to help.
Nobody. No, that's crazy.
Y'all know JR's level of athleticism still at that point. JR could have caught the ball and on vert, touched his back. Boom.
He could have just went right back up with it. He could have went right back up with it.
At that point, JR still had that level of athleticism. He could have damn near windmilled off verts right there, bro. Like that
bro, honestly, hey,
LeBron could have just shown up.
Before we let that go, though, Mars. Before we let that go, that honestly ruined his career, bro. That was at the beginning of the end of his career. That ruined his that moment ruined the rest of his career. To be honest with you, bro.
That's why Stephen A be like, stay off the weed.
For real,
man.
All right, fellas, let's keep it pushing. We got a bunch to get into. Whale just became a member. Shout out to Mail. Mike Lipscomb just became a member.
Sir.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hey, if you ain't a member yet, come join the squad. Finesse Lord 21 said, I work with Jordan Poole's father at UPS in Milwaukee. He is not one of them dudes, chill, for real.
Okay, so you know the dude. I'm going off what I heard. I heard that the dude was really in them streets like that. Well, obviously I'm wrong.
I heard he got connects out there too.
Is Jordan Poole Pop still working at UPS? I'm just curious.
Nah,
I mean, look, if you want to work, you can work. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
I don't believe that, bro.
I got some sons. As soon as they sign that contract, see ya.
Bob, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. They had dudes at the game that was at, like, when they went to play in Detroit. They had dudes at the game that was on the sideline that wanted to smoke with Draymond. If you go back and watch that game, Draymond was getting into it with the dude on the sideline. Them dudes that was there for Jordan Poole. Them dudes was where they was, and Draymond was ready to fight the dude. And remember, it's on YouTube. Draymond said, "Oh yeah, no, listen," because Draymond said, "Go back and look this up, because you're gonna see it's gonna make sense now." The dude said something to Draymond, and Draymond said, "What?" They're at the free throw line. He said, "What? What you say? What?" He said, "What?" Because the dude was like, "I'm gonna hit you." He was like, "What hit? What hit? Hit what?"
Oh, that was in Milwaukee. Yeah, that was in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee. Yeah. Go back and watch that game.
Oh, that's when Draymond started crying and got kicked out the game.
Yes. Them dudes, them was Jordan Poole people up there ready to put hands on Draymond. And he told Draymond what he was going to do. He called Draymond a snitch. He called him a snitch he called him a snitch when he got him kicked out. But that's why Draymond was doing it at the free throw line, because them was Jordan Poole people, his pops people saying that to him, saying that they was going to get him. He was like, "Get what? Wait, he said he going to get something? Wait, get what?" Then he went and told the ref and snitched on. He Takashi snitched on him.
Well, I mean, like we already know, Draymond be shook.
Drink More Water with the super chat said, favorite moment. Tomorrow is the 2-year anniversary of Giannis Game 6 versus the Suns. 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks. Greatest finals game ever? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it was awesome.
They was playing later because that was the year after the bubble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was awesome.
I'm like, why the hell was they playing at the end of July?
That might have been. That might have been one of them. But I think the game with Jordan, LeBron's game would have been the best if he would have won. It'd been one of the best if they would have won that game against the Warriors. But I think the Jordan game, because he scored half a team points that game, didn't he? Chill.
Yes.
Probably took half the team shots too. But I mean, I guess.
What you say, Mars?
Nothing. Carry.
You always got to be a jackass, don't you?
Yes, you know he does.
I heard what you said, son.
You know he does.
Hold on. So you think Giannis' game was more impressive than that?
Oh no, I don't think Giannis's game is the best game ever. No, I don't think so.
In the final?
No,
I'm saying I think Jordan's game, in that game 6, the way he closed it out with the shot.
Yeah, I think Jordan's game is more impressive than Giannis' game. I agree. I think that, but I don't know if Jordan's game is the most impressive.
I don't keep in mind that was game 6 too. That was a closeout game. 50 in a closeout game. No matter how you
taking Giannis 50 over Magic Johnson's game 6, 1980.
No, I'm taking AI's game 1 over Giannis 50. That game 1 AI had against the Lakers, I'm taking that over Giannis 50.
What did Iverson
Yeah,
go for that day? What, like
48,
47, something like that? 48?
48.
So he went for 48 that day.
Bro, and stepped over Ty Lue. Like, that's iconic. That ain't never going away, bro. He was cooking.
LeBron game 4, 2011. I'll take that one.
It has to be NBA game. I can't talk about Kimba's run. Well, it does say NBA up there. It says
You're
NBA.
talking about the greatest finals game ever.
So never mind. Because I'm
greatest finals game ever.
Thinking about
Oh, that's easy. Greatest finals game. That's Bill Russell. That's Bill Russell. Game 7 against the Lakers in '62.
What do you do?
He went 30 and 40 in the game.
That's fire.
40.
Sounds like good to me.
40 what?
40 boards.
Man, I know you don't praise Lonzo Ball 2.0, man. Cut this
He
shit.
had 40 rebounds.
People don't respect the GOAT. Like,
he went 30 and 40 in game 7.
Hold on, but chill. You're going to get 40
NBA
rebounds.
championship game.
When everybody's shooting bricks, you're going to get 40 rebounds. They was all shooting 41%, 40, 30% from the field. What do you expect?
Everybody can shoot bricks.
He went against Jerry West and Elgin Baylor.
Mars, come on, Mars. Philtown is full of shit. Because if you go look at the percentages for that game, them dudes are shooting 34% from the field, Ron.
Even if they shooting 34% from the field, that means that I got to grab every rebound. Who's done that since he did it? It's not like he did it in every other team.
Well, I'm gonna say what Fluent said. I don't believe it. I'm gonna say what Fluent said. I don't believe that.
See what they're gonna do to dismiss the GOAT.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Period. Because like I told you, I looked at the box score and they all was shooting 30-something% from the field. That's horrible, bro. That means you're supposed to get every rebound. Everybody shooting 30% from the field.
But there's 9 other people on the court. He got the ball out of the other 9.
I think Elgin Baylor had like 20 rebounds that game, but he's the GOAT. Like, you ain't gonna tell me twice. He's the GOAT. Like, that's
anybody that trusts stats by one dude watching a game with a pencil in a smoke-filled arena needs to get their head checked.
No, Bill Russell probably had more than 30.
There's no way that out of all those people, there's only one statistician. I know they had a statistician for each team and another guy doing it for the
It's
when I was in high school, 30 years ago, right? 30 plus years ago. The lady that worked, my high school basketball coach, his wife, she used to keep the stats in addition to the other team. So they had somebody.
And there was somebody probably.
Was that the 50s? 60s?
Close enough.
Man.
Damn.
It is not close enough. You know how much has changed in 20 years?
You got one dude. Oh, you don't? This other team got somebody that's keeping. So it's not just one dude keeping stats for everybody. He keeping stats for us too, because we want to make sure you ain't cheating us.
There is one dude.
No, it's not.
One dude. Go look. 1962. Go look at 1962. The person who kept the game score for Wilt's 100. It was one dude. Sam Eckerberger, whatever his name is, signed off on it. It was one dude. And there are stories, you know this, of especially Wilt walking off and telling his statistician, I had 18 rebounds there. And they'd be like, oh, okay, sure, Wilt, and putting down 18.
No way.
Come on.
There was probably one person in charge. There's probably one person in charge, but he had a team of probably 3 or 4 people that had to check each other's stats regardless. And
that's not true.
On top of that, Fluent, I trust humans more than I trust computers.
Okay.
All right, fellas. Hey, we got to move on. We can't argue about Wilt Chamberlain's statisticians and whether
Not to mention, I'm not arguing. Tone don't even think he's a real person, so I don't even talk to Tone about Chamberlain.
Sam fucker bugger. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Tone don't even think he's a real person, so I don't even talk to Tone about Chamberlain.
All right, so moving along. Will said Duncan's nuts fadeaway doubled before Horry's shot. But
that was Derek Fisher.
Yeah, that's what he sent a follow-up super chat and said I meant Fisher in my super chat, not Horry. My bad.
Yeah, Horry's made so many, he just assumes it was another one he made. I don't blame him. But yeah, that shot from Duncan was crazy. I don't know how he made that.
And
what was crazy? Duncan shot or Fisher shot though?
Oh, Derek
Fisher.
Definitely. 0.4 yeah, that's ridiculous.
I was surprised he even got it off.
What year was that? 11?
Nah, 2004.
04.
Damn, that was
2004.
That was that long ago?
In the Western Conference semifinals in San Antonio.
Yep. That seemed like yesterday.
2004.
That tied the series 2-2, right?
Yes, sir.
That would have been 3-1 San Antonio.
I remember when he hit that, I got up running just the same way he ran after he hit it.
Yeah.
No, Mars. That was game 5. They went up in the series. because they ended up ending it the next night, 2 nights later in Game 6. They ended it at home. Yep.
Man, that was crazy.
Yeah,
It don't seem like it was that long
that
ago.
shot or Robert Ory's shot with Vlade Divac.
Yo, Ron.
You know what? All right, we don't got to do it. We don't got to do it. Super Cool 500 said tickets should hate Jordan if Draymond riles him up for punching teammates. Also, Jordan stayed in the game.
Hold on. I'm gonna say it one more
Reggie
time.
got ejected when he punched him.
I'm gonna say it one more time. It wasn't about the punch. It's about the interviews and the goddamn celebration of that stuff. You don't never hear Michael Jordan running around here talking about, I knocked out Steve Kerr. I did that. He just no, you don't hear that. Draymond Green has went on a world tour talking about this stuff, man. Y'all cut it out, bro. You dudes is clowns, bro. Y'all love to twist people words on YouTube.
New member alert. Mont 1K. Appreciate your boy. Thanks for coming
to the show, brother.
Thanks for coming through.
To the show, brother.
Winter said, did y'all see what Eddie Johnson said about Draymond?
No, I didn't see it.
I listen to Eddie Johnson at least 3-4 times a week, though.
In the past, he said Draymond defense overrated.
Always listen to those guys when I'm driving.
Yeah, for sure. And then Justin Termini?
Yep. Who's the other? And then there's another show too that
with Scalabrini.
Yeah, White Mamba.
And Frank Isola.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
But did y'all hear that story Eddie Johnson told the other day about when him and Tim, what was his name? Him and the one big fella they bet Jordan he wasn't gonna drop 40 on Dan Marley. And when Jordan had like 38, he came to the court looking at him like, hey, had that money ready.
Yo, Mike Limscomb. Appreciate you for becoming a member. I lost your super chat, so I'm not going to be able to put it on the screen. But what I can do for you is I can read it for you. He said, shout out from the Bay Area. Had to join the fam. Long overdue. Memorable moment, D-Fish, 0.4 second shot in 2004.
Yes, sir. That was huge, B. That was huge.
Is that top 3 biggest shot in history?
Did you guys do the memorable, most iconic moments?
Well,
we're in the process of it. We're
doing it now.
We're in the process.
Oh, hey,
Mars, your question is it a top 3?
Yeah, is it top 3 biggest shots in history?
Top 3.
Robert Ory.
Ray Allen is one. Ray Allen is one.
Robert Ory was bigger. That game, Robert Ory hit the 3 against Sacramento.
Robert Ory, 100%.
Okay.
That wasn't all that.
Kyrie a bigger shot?
I think Paxton's shot was. I think Paxton's shot in Game 6 was bigger than Derek Fisher's.
Because it's in the finals.
That was to win the game. Game's over. Series over too, by the way.
I mean, Derek Fisher was a series.
Have you talked about the biggest shot in Canadian basketball history?
Kawhi,
Game 7.
I'm not gonna lie, but when you get to get away with that egregious travel, I mean,
that wasn't even a travel, man.
That wasn't even a travel.
100%. 100%. As soon as he caught the basketball,
go look at the 2-minute report.
It's the NBA. It's the NBA. Yeah. I mean, it's not a travel in the NBA.
As soon as he caught the basketball and turned around,
yo, James Harden does 5-step backs. It's not a travel in the NBA.
And he gets called for that.
Shaq and a fool had a 20-piece on LeBron traveling. I don't hear anybody saying shit about that.
I say all the time, he travels all the time. Kyrie shot's bigger than Kawhi's.
Everybody
because
Kyrie shot was huge.
If Kawhi misses, they go to overtime.
They go to overtime. Yeah, that's true too.
Kyrie, I mean, Game 7, 3-1 comeback.
But that's why I said biggest in Canadian basketball history. I did say that.
Yeah,
yo,
how extensive
I like about Kyrie.
Would that shot have been if Vince Carter made the shot against Philly?
Canadian basketball is there even such thing as Canadian basketball?
Because Leonard was a Leonard.
You know what, bro? When Canada beats your crappy American squad that you're putting out there this year,
Teddy, we're gonna get to your super chats, brother. Don't worry. I promise you, Teddy Hart. We're gonna get to your super chats. We ain't forget about you, yo. We're gonna get to you. Don't worry about it.
Yo, Fluent, y'all biggest players like 6'4". My daughter can make that team.
What are you talking about? They just signed the college basketball player of the year. Zach E is on Team Canada. He's there. Okay. 7'4", baby. Take that.
You talking about
He
the,
was
you
getting
talking,
smoked
you
in
talking about
the
the kid that they said, man, you might as well going back to college. You're not
Yeah, he
getting
had to go back to
drafted.
school. Yes, sir. He had to
Yeah,
go back
but
to school.
you can appreciate a big man, Ox. You're not like those casuals.
I can. You ain't lying. But
Liam
Canadian basketball,
McLean
come off it.
said, I think most of us are drawn more to Shaq than Tim on a personal level, on a personality level. Shaq was explosive and expressive. Tim was quiet and more quote unquote boring. Both amazing though.
Yeah, both are amazing.
Michael Land, Sea, and Air said Nick Anderson misses 4 straight in Game 1 of the 1995 Finals. Still agitates me to this day. It marks a 20-point comeback in the second half. Changed the entire series.
Changed his game too.
They spent basically all of Game 2 just talking about Nick Anderson missing.
Was that worse than John Stark's game in the finals?
Yes.
Wasn't
Yes.
John Starks was like 1 for 17 or something.
Yeah, he went 3 for 18 in that game.
Yeah, like
3 for 16, something like that.
It was, yeah.
But I'm watching Nick
Yeah,
Anderson go to the free throw line after he missed that second one and he got the ball back. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way he's missing both of these. After he missed that third free throw, I'm thinking to myself, this dude wants nothing to do with the stripe. He does not want to be there. He does not want to be on the stripe.
He got the yips.
He does not. He don't want to be on the stripe. And after that, it changed his career, yo, completely.
Still got big love for Nick Anderson though. That was egregious, but Nick Anderson.
But it shows you how that mental part of the game, man. You can if you get in your head, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along, Teddy Hart, I got you right now. He said, don't kill me, but Embiid definitely shows flashes of Olajuwon influence. I don't think centers of old will never come back. It'll just be remixed with better shooting.
Yeah, that's what Joe said.
Yeah.
Better shooting and worse post moves.
D got it made. Said Kobe and Tim Duncan played in the same era, and Kobe was the consensus best player in the world for at least 4 years. I don't get it. D, I don't get it either.
That's not true. He
was not. That is true. Even LeBron was on. Even LeBron.
No, he was not. No, he wasn't.
LeBron went on national TV 2 years in a row on 60 Minutes when he was winning the MVPs. He went on 60 Minutes 2 years in a row and said Kobe Bryant is by far the best player in the world.
I think players. No. But it's not just Bron. It's not just Bron. If you ask players back then, now, whatever, they all have Kobe in much higher regard those years than most fans do. Like even if you ask a bunch of players now, they're picking Kobe over LeBron, period.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back then, they all had respect for Kobe's game because it included his work ethic, what he did to them night in, night out. Now we can argue who was better because we'll look at highlights and we'll look at game film and games that we watched and all that other stuff. But if you ask a player in the NBA, especially then, they're right away they'll be like Kobe. Kobe's the best, right? And that's no disrespect to any of those other guys, Duncan, whoever else was playing in those days. But Kobe was different. Kobe was looked at differently. So I see what Ticket's saying. Like they did say Kobe's name.
Now I'm not saying Kobe wasn't. I'm just saying I'm not just because Bron said it don't mean nothing to me.
And Chill, I do get you. I wouldn't necessarily say consensus. I mean, for me, it was easily the best, but I can get it if you say. And I'm talking about the late 2000s. I can get it if you were to say Bron. I could get it if you said Dirk, even though I strongly disagree with the Dirk.
Ain't no one saying Dirk unless they have some agendas. No one
said
Dirk.
Said Dirk.
That's an agenda. There's no way. Dirk was not better than Kobe.
I don't think so either. But during one of those years, Chill said it was Dirk or Kobe.
Yeah, but
Ron,
playing better and
Ron, from the day Kobe was drafted to the day he died,
right?
He was
those
the
two
best player
things are
in the
different.
NBA.
Exactly.
I think after 05, I think 05 was the point where Kobe was clearly the best player in the NBA. I think from 05 to 2010, I think it was Mamba. No ifs, ands, or buts. But I mean, I could get it if you don't think it's a consensus. If you think it was somebody else in there rivaling him, I just don't believe so.
There was just a lot of parity at that time, so I don't know if anyone.
It was
everyone else, but Kobe was probably at the top of that list.
Cool G with the super chat said, "Don't forget that Shaq had a top 15 player all time beside him. Duncan never had that type of player around him. Duncan made Parker and Manu successfully."
Respect Manu Ginobili.
No, respectfully, you guys. I hate this narrative because you'll either talk about a team as if it's one player, this player won or this player lost, or this player had that player, like Kobe had Shaq. But it's a team, right? We keep saying it's a team. So, no, he didn't have anyone as good as Kobe, but he had 3 guys that maybe were better than the Lakers 3 guys if you add them all up together, or 4 guys or 5 guys. And like, so yes, he didn't have the second best player as good as Shaq did, but he had a pretty good team around him. Let's not forget the team that drafted Tim Duncan. Yeah, they won 20 games the year before, right? That's only because Robinson played 6 games. Sean Elliott played 33 games. The year before that, though, when Robinson played all 82 and Sean Elliott played 77, they won 59 games. They did go to the second round. The year before that, that same lineup won 62 games and lost in the Western Conference Final. That's the team that he got drafted to. So let's not pretend like he got drafted to a bunch of bums.
Thank you, Fluent. Keep cooking, Chill Champ.
He had a good team. He definitely had a damn good team. 100%. He was not playing with a bunch of bums. No. Mm-mm.
Teddy Hart with another super chat said, would Shaq have even been Shaq if he had shooting ability? I'm not sure he'd be as bang down low focused as if I'm not sure he would be as bang down low focused if that was his only tool in his scoring bag. No disrespect meant by that.
Yeah, he would have, because Shaq, his mindset, it was about his mentality. Shaq's mentality was to destroy you. Shaq's mentality was to cause pain to you and to bring pain to you down in that post. So he would have. It's all about the player's mentality. Same thing with Joel Embiid. What's your mentality? You get a guy like Marcus Smart on you, you let him push you out the block. You didn't got that same mentality Shaq got. I watched Marcus Smart play that dude one-on-one in the post. That would have never happened to Shaq. Shaq would have put that boy in the 15th row, and it wouldn't even been funny.
He would have got a foul ticket. He would have got a foul ticket. He would have got an offensive foul just running him over, just to let him know.
And Marcus would have asked Coach to get off that.
Yes. Either running him over or bowling him in his face, just to let him know, if you come down here, this is what it's going to be. Switch on me again.
Ticket. He wouldn't have to ask to switch off. He would have never went nowhere near Shaquille O'Neal. Marcus Smart would have been, I'm not going down there with him. So, but I'm happy you said that, because a minute ago, Ron compared Joel to Hakeem Olajuwon, and I'm like, Marcus Smart would have stayed the hell away from Hakeem Olajuwon too.
Yes, he would have. He wouldn't want nothing to do with Olajuwon. He would have stayed away from him too.
I like those type of players. Like you was just saying about Shaq. Hey, you said he wanted to bring the pain. I like those players that want to bring the ruckus. You know what I'm saying? When the tip come on, this ain't no regular basketball game. Let's get some chaos in here. Bring the ruckus. Start. You know what I'm saying? Start some shit. Elbow somebody.
I'm sure Shaq would have got an offensive foul, whether he bowled Marcus Smart in the face or he ran him over, just to let him know, this is what you're gonna have to deal with if you think you could guard me. No. And Marcus Smart would have been like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm out.
Angie Carr said, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Shaq was a problem, but him not taking care of himself better should also be a factor, right?
I think it depends. Because if someone has more potential than someone else and they don't reach their potential, but where they did reach is still better than someone else who reached their max potential, I'm not going to say the other one's better because they maximized. You still didn't get to the same level this person did without trying. I think Shaq could have been much better than he was, but where he got to is still better than damn near everyone ever. So I'm still not
hold on, Mars. Didn't Shaq have more prime years?
You know what I compare it to? I compare it to this.
You could argue Shaq had more prime years than Tim Duncan, because it depends where you think Tim Duncan's prime ended, because his game did start to change. And then when his game did change, if you would consider that the end of his prime, yeah, I'd probably say Shaq probably had more prime years than Duncan.
Let me compare it to this. What Mars just said, though. What Mars just said is really important, though. Right? It's you can't compare Shaq to what Shaq could have been. You have to compare Shaq to his competitors. And this is a team comparison, but watch this. So when I look at the 92 Dream Team, right? Some people say the greatest team ever assembled. I say it could have been better. And people are like, what are you talking about? Well, if they would have had Shaq on that team instead of Christian Laettner, if they would have had a healthy Dominique Wilkins versus a broken back Larry Bird, if they would have had Isaiah Thomas instead of maybe John Stockton, that team actually could have been better. But I can't compare them to who they could have been. I got to compare them to other teams. So I think that's really important. You can't just say Shaq could have been better. Yeah, he could have. But who was better than Shaq at his best? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm saying that he had more prime years. They make it seem like Tim Duncan had more prime years. I think Tim Duncan had more help added on throughout the end of his run, like when they went and got Kawhi and all those other guys. I just think that Shaq, from coming in the league to Orlando, to when he left LA, I think that was a longer prime than what Tim Duncan had. I just think Shaq didn't get the awards he deserved to get as far as MVPs from when he came in the league to his time at the end of LA.
Yeah, but I think
It's
I think you forget though. It's tough for a big man, right? Because people forget he came into the league in what, 92, 93?
92.
92. So by the time that Lakers run was over, he was in year 10, 12, whatever the heck it was. That's a lot for a guy that size. For his body to go 10 years in the NBA, like that's a lot. So, I think what happened with his career, right, is we remember, especially the younger people, they remember they know like Miami Shaq, and then they know like Cleveland Shaq and Boston Shaq and the big cactus in Phoenix. Like they remember all of those, and that's not who he was.
Question, Tom. 2006, the Miami Heat win the NBA championship. Shaq is in year 14. I quit. I'm out. I don't want to play no more. How we talking about him?
Higher regard than we do.
I agree. I think when you see the tail ends and someone isn't who they used to be, it leaves like a sour taste in people's mouth that this guy probably played a bit too long. I think that's why I spoke about this with LeBron like a year ago. I always think a player should go out when they're still at a very high level, so you don't have to deal with seeing the Vince Carter years. You don't have to see that. You don't want to see that player not be great. And I think Shaq probably would have benefited if he went out 5 years earlier than he did.
But I mean, James Harden. We don't want
to see Patrick Ewing in Orlando. We don't want to see Hakeem Olajuwon in Toronto. Right. We don't want to see Mike in Washington. Nobody wants to see that. And we saw that with Shaq because, listen, he loved playing, but we saw that on like 3-4 different teams. Like, and that I think that, for younger people, that's all they saw. Right?
Mars, you mean me having a
younger people only saw Charles Barkley sitting on the TNT desk, and they think that's who he is. I'm like, dude, that's not who he is.
Fellas, I got to get to these super chats.
Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Bubba91 said, Ray Allen shot as a Miami fan. That was amazing.
That's the biggest
save legacy. Save legacies, baby.
Speaking of legacies being saved, Levin Ali said LeBron's 16-point fourth quarter versus the Spurs in 2013.
Awesome. Ray Allen's 3 points meant more.
Yeah. I don't even remember.
Actually, I think wasn't it Chris Bosh's block though that meant more than that shot?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Duncan missing a layup in Game 7.
Bad coaching, not having Duncan in to rebound against Bosh.
Hey man, L coach.
Akoma Mikey's burner said, Don't believe anything can beat Kobe's 50. As a fan, it was hard watching that last season. And for him to get it on contestant jumpers was amazing.
It was 60.
So first of all, it was 60 actually. It wasn't 50. It was 60.
It was 60.
Yeah. Let's
get that. His 81. I was in the building. His 81 was crazy.
You was there.
I mean, that game was iconic because Golden State were breaking a 72-10 record, and people still chose to watch the Lakers play the Jazz. That shows how iconic that game was.
Kobe gave your sorry ass part of that 81 too.
Yes, sir. I tried to D him up. I got nothing.
I'm happy you was in the building to get some of that ass whooped.
Teddy Hart says, saw the new Wilt Goliath doc and didn't realize his 1v1 of bad luck.
No, level of bad luck. Level
of bad luck. Mm-hmm. The famous Havlicek stole the ball moment came after Wilt went on a run and cut the lead to 1 with the chance to win it at the buzzer. Shaking my head at winning bias.
Don't forget how they actually got the ball, how Havlicek was able to steal the ball. Russell threw the ball off the support and turned the ball over.
Off the support.
I know that's nuts, right?
It don't mean a thing if you don't get that win.
Russell threw the ball up the support. That's how Philly was able to get the ball back, and they were going to get the ball into Chamberlain. Chamberlain was going to score, and the game was going to be over. That was, by the way, Ron, that was Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Championship.
Wilt should have done more.
Facts.
Troll alert.
So you're saying like his statisticians didn't help him as much as they could have?
No, what I'm saying is for him at the end, the winning bias thing. It's like he lost, So it's not no bias. That's the whole point. That's the whole reason we lace our kicks up. We put our boots on to go win. You lost. I don't give a shit what you did. Good job, Wilt.
Wisdom Warrior said, maybe not major. Allen Houston killed my Miami Heat in 99 with a dagger to the heart. He don't hit that shot. No finals for the Knicks as an 8th seed.
And by the way, he got fouled on. They got hit in the face. And he did not get – Dan Marley hit him in the face. When he head faked him, he hit him right in the face, and he didn't get called for a foul with that.
Can we talk about those 99 finals real quick? Like, the Knicks lost, but
No,
Latrell
we only
and
have
Allen,
7 minutes.
But look, though, Latrell and Allen were balling. Like, yeah, they lost. But Latrell and Allen Houston were getting busy. That's all
If Ewing plays, do the Knicks win?
I think it goes further than 5 games. I think we may be looking at a 7-game series if Ewing plays.
But they lost, They lost.
Big Ox, I wish it was that black and white, but it's not, man. It's just not. I'm sorry, Ron. Keep going.
It has to be Chilltown. That's the only way. That's the only way we can get on with it. It's just like, you lost. Let's forget it. They balled out. They did, and I loved it. But
tell them, Bob. It's wins and losses. It's good or bad. There's nothing else. No. Okay, just ask KD.
Bob,
good
the
or
reason.
Not good.
Anyway, what you were saying, Ron? I apologize.
Jawan Wright said, "Love you." One of the times I remember is when Bron scored 25 straight against Detroit in 2007. I was 15. LOL.
Yeah, that was that aha moment.
What did he do the next game?
20 and 14.
Yeah. What did he shoot?
He wasn't very good in terms of efficiency. He wasn't.
Interesting. Shout out to BB Gibbs.
Darren Gordon Hill said Spurs lost to Miami because basketball gods would not let T-Mac bench ride his way to a ring.
Facts. They were hating.
Facts.
They were hating.
Facts.
Facts. They were hating.
Oh, that's
not
cold.
winning it.
That's cold.
Akoma Mikey's burner said 60. Damn, my bad. It was 7 years ago. I was 15 then. Now I'm 22. I'm getting old. Long live Mamba and Gigi.
I'm 22. That's crazy.
Time to retire.
And everything. Wow.
Shout out to our new member, A. Simmons. Appreciate you for becoming a member. Welcome
to Ron.
The squad. What's up? Holla at me.
I got a 5-second question for you, man. My question for you is this, bro. Why is LeBron James changing his number again when he said that he was going to lead the charge and nobody should wear 23 ever again in honor of Michael Jordan?
When you heard him say that? When did you hear him say that to you?
Oh, he said it to ESPN on the interviews on YouTube. Go look it up.
I don't ever.
Go Google it. Hold on. Go Google it. It's on YouTube right now.
But now he's honoring the late Bill Russell.
He's honoring the GOAT.
He said, hey, hold on, Killtown. Just so you have an easier chance finding it, he said it the year he went to Miami. He said that he was going to stop wearing 23 in honor of Michael Jordan. Because remember, Pat Riley put him on that too. Pat was like, "Yo, nobody in this organization."
Well, didn't Miami retire?
Hey, hold on, fellas. We got to move on. I'm sorry, Flo.
No,
we got to move on.
One second.
No. Tomorrow, we literally name the show. LeBron's changing his jersey, and we'll get down to the bottom of this.
Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
YSN Money with the super chat said, "Big shot, Bob, in 02 Western Conference Finals. Shout out Ox." Smiley face emoji. He also said Kobe 81, D Fish 0.4 seconds.
Okay, so he's a Lakers fan.
Yes, he is. 100%.
Ox hate that game.
Yo, send your cash app through. We're gonna send you that back.
Kai with the super chat said Jimmy Butler, game 5 of the 2020 finals, 35-point triple-double while guarding Bron, played 46 minutes. Only time I felt I was watching a one-man team.
What did he do in game 6?
You lost the series, man. Don't count.
We're talking about the moment. We're not talking about what happened after.
No, you didn't get praised.
I didn't feel that moment though. I thought it was a good finals. I didn't feel that the moment.
But they won that game. That was the game Danny Green missed the 3 at the end.
Yeah, he got death threats. But I'm saying I don't feel like that was a moment though. I didn't feel like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like that's a history where we can go back in NBA history and say, hey man, Jimmy, nah. That ain't one.
None of the bubbles really memorable, to be honest.
Men's Corner said KD's game winner against the Mavs, December 29th, 2011.
Regular season, man.
Huh? No. We talking about postseason.
That's how bad it is for KD. You got to look up regular season games. Get out of here.
What's your problem with regular season games, man?
No, I mean, I think Steph's game against OKC in 2016.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think it will make it when we're talking about all time.
Tone, your troll status it's increasing daily. Just so you know, Tone. I just want to put that out there. Daily. You ain't at Mars level, but it's getting better.
You know what?
Yes.
See, y'all
Thursday 9 p.m. tune into Troll and Chill.
Everybody's disrespect for the regular season is why the worst NBA team should go to the G League and the best G League team should go to the NBA.
Oh, you want relegation?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I said that about a year ago. I love it. I'm all with that.
I think it should be more than that. I think it should be like four teams go down, 4 teams come up.
This man using
They
overseas
will.
rules.
Listen,
You're trying to get relegation
Four is
in
crazy,
the
bro.
NBA. That's
doing
Four
crazy.
is crazy, bro.
they're doing the
Don't be in the
tournament.
bottom 4. Don't
That's
be
where it's
sorry.
coming. The
You wild as hell
in-season
for that.
tournament is the first step. They're going to add 6 new teams, and they're going to have to relegate. Watch it. It's coming. It's coming.
Hey, that's a great idea, though, Ron. 4 teams out, 4 teams in. That way people stop thinking.
So who gets the number 1 pick?
The other teams that's above the 4 teams.
The fifth team.
So if you're a
Look,
G League team coming up, you don't get a draft pick. So you're just
No,
meant to
you
go
do,
with your
you
G
do,
League.
you do, Mars. This is the thing. See, what you got to see is that G League team will be able to compete because not only is it more than likely that 1 or 2 of their players is going to be a lottery pick anyway, they also get in the lottery, so they get another pick, and then they also get the same salary cap, which means they get to compete in free agency. So they probably won't be the worst team in the NBA coming next. So they're in the league for at least another 3-4 seasons. That will make everybody play to the final game, final bell. Everybody will play.
Just so you know, Ron,
I saw Ted Lasso.
I don't think this is gonna work.
I saw Ted Lasso
we
take a relegated team back up. So anything.
we could definitely move on. But Ron, just so you know, Detroit would smoke the best G League team. Detroit would destroy them.
Not if they had draft picks and the same salary cap.
See, and not only would that make everybody play in the NBA, that will also make the G League better, and it will make guys that are sitting on the bench, like guys like Terrence Davis on the Kings, he'll probably go play in the G League now. You know what I'm saying? Because that will up their salary cap. A lot of guys overseas that are like, I'll just stay over here. They'll come to the G League. The G League will get much better.
I just ain't trying to see my team.
Why you got to pick up? Why you got to pick on TD? Why you got to pick on TD for?
I love TD. That's my guy. I love TD. I love TD.
Too.
I ain't mean no disrespect, but I'm saying if the salary cap goes up in the G League, he can go to the G League and play 26 minutes instead of sitting on our bench and then make a couple more dollars too.
Yeah, and probably be on a better team.
And probably
All right,
average
fellas,
like 25.
I got the last few super chats we're gonna run down, and unfortunately we got to wrap up the show for today. But it's about damn time. Said, damn, 100K fellas, hard work do pay off. It's about damn time.
Thanks, yo. We doing it.
Where my plaque at, Ron?
By the way,
yeah, Fluent Junior's waiting for it.
by the way,
Yeah, don't run. Don't run.
Hey, hold on. Let's
By
give him
the
a
way.
preview. Let's give him a preview tomorrow. What that shit you was gonna say? When I said something about LeBron changing the number, sucker.
What's up? What's up?
No. I'm telling you, when LeBron said that, he was still in Cleveland, and he knew that he was going to go to Miami the next year, and Miami had already retired the number 23. That's why, and you have to give a certain amount of time to the league before you change your number. You have to get it approved. And you have
fellas,
to put it
we
in
about
early.
to get into this
We
tomorrow.
cooking on
So
this
he already
tomorrow.
knew.
Ron.
He
We are
already
cooking
knew
on
he
this
was going to
tomorrow.
Miami.
We
He
started.
already
I am
knew.
destroying
We're gonna cook on this
Chilltown.
tomorrow.
I am destroying Chilltown ass tomorrow, Ron.
You are
Ron,
not
I am
destroying me.
I am
It's a setup.
annihilating Chilltown ass on this tomorrow. When we come tomorrow, Chilltown, you better do your homework tonight. What your boy said, man. That's disgusting, bro.
Keep going.
Cloud
keep
chasing
going.
at his finest, bro. That's sad, bro. You change your number just to go back, just because you had this little sick game you improve with Michael Jordan. You disgusting, brother. And we're gonna
Keep
get to
going,
this
Ron.
tomorrow.
I agree. I agree with clicking on this.
We ain't got time to agree and disagree.
Fellas, we gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up.
His decision.
Nightmare
Mark,
Comics was.
it's not our fault we doing 2-hour shows now. What happened to the 3
Yeah,
hours?
it's
I
crazy,
thought we
it's
was
crazy.
I thought we was potted, not
Yeah,
farting.
we hit 100K and all of a sudden the shows get short.
Yeah, all of a sudden we too
Yeah,
big.
Ron.
Now
That's
we
what I'm
get
saying.
100K. Ron, now we too
Crazy.
big. Now
Crazy.
Ox, you get your big ass out of here. Mars, you get out of here too. Nightmare Comics 1 said, did anyone say blocked by James? If not, that's mine.
That Kyrie
now we
shit,
too
man.
big for
You can
our
have
britches. That's crazy.
Angie Carr said, Players' Choice Gridiron tonight. Ticket, chill, Ox, pull up.
Man, why you ain't asking me to pull up? That's crazy.
Because you said you don't know anything about football.
I know Tom Brady's not the GOAT, but it's fine.
Fair enough. He's not the GOAT. He's just the GOAT of QBs.
Leaving Ali said, LeBron staring down the fake GOAT after the dunk.
Oh yeah, he did say on the fake GOAT facts.
All right,
Never do
y'all.
that to
Well,
the GOAT.
it's been real.
I thought more he was looking for acceptance. Yeah, go ahead.
It's been a fun 2 hours. See you guys at the same time tomorrow for
Yes, sir.
2 hours.
Ticket, I'm flaming your ticket cut.